What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? I hope you are all having a wonderful evening. Let's get this intro cracking, and then we're going to get in it to win it. We got some round table action shaking, so it's going to go down. Never miss another live stream again. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and click see all notifications. What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? Now, if you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network, so that means we are a collaboration of channels talking all sports, but only Houston. But with that being said, man, we have the round table in the mix tonight. So shout out to the round table. Who all we got live in the sauce tonight with us?
Your boy Tristan here, and I'm not. This Duke fan.
Is that me sounding like that?
Nah, it sounded kind of like robotic.
Yeah. It's screwed and chopped robot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that was. I thought I was tripping. So I don't know what's going on. It sounded like he was like, I don't know if he was losing communication.
Nah, man. No, I think it's just that Spence is still a little distraught after his Texans, right? Texas Tech Rangers got whooped.
Oh, okay. I understand. I understand.
Might be it.
Okay, so who else we got in the sauce tonight?
What's the motherfucking deal, everybody? We got your boy Dan in here. And Braylon, quit trying to fire up everybody, man.
I ain't frying them.
Nah, bullshit, nigga. You think I'm gonna let that slide on the cool, nigga? You trying to fire up niggas on the cool. I'm gonna get in your shit about it.
Oh, my God.
Trying to hop on. Hey, Spitz, bro, I got you, dog. I got you, man.
Good grief. All right, so we got Darren in the mix. Who else we got in the mix?
Don't need to introduce myself after Darren already said my name.
Say my name like Destiny.
Goddamn right. When you get out of line, I gotta put you back in line.
Damn.
Hopping on my man Spitz like that.
We got Darren Debo in the mix. Man, while we getting the roll call in order, man, let's make sure while we get the round table in order, let's get the roll call correct. So make sure you shout out where you from, shout out your side with pride, whatever city however you represent, so we can show y'all a little bit of love. Y'all got me teary-eyed almost over here, man. All right, so I'm sorry about that. Braylon, you were saying?
I said there's no need for me to say my name.
You just make sure you got my pipe, punk.
Oh my God. What's the motherfucking deal? I see Southwest in the mix, man. Let me check something. Something seemed a little thrown off. Okay, that's right. But oh man. So first I owe y'all some sauce. Let me make sure I get y'all with that reward. And I got what was the final score? I was on the road, so I didn't get a chance to check it out. But I need to see who all had a close prediction, so I can make sure I show y'all some love for that. But what's the motherfucking deal, Mr. Asian Pikachu, Real Family, Jive, Wink, Phoenix, I Gave You Power, I'm Underpaid, Seth Clark, Dewey Harris, Jay Dizzle, Richard Snow, Bob McNair. We're gonna be talking about your ass. We're gonna be talking about you, Bob McNair, Baylor Rios, Brian Roscoe. What's the motherfucking deal? Who else we got? Real Family, I already said your name. You don't get shouted out twice. Shine Real Live, what's the motherfucking deal? J Pack, J Pac.
You got a friend.
You know what I'm saying? And Heidi, what's the motherfucking deal? Brian Cushion, you out of here. You gotta you finna go coach some high school shit. Max Vasquez, what's the motherfucking deal? Jesus, Robbie G, what's shaking? El Lobo, what's the motherfucking deal? Adrian. Brian, G-Town in the mix. Duarte, California, I see y'all. San Antonio, Northwest H-Town, Baytown. Okay, I see you, Dirty Bay in the mix. Southwest. So, Lisa, I see you. Make sure I get everybody there. Make sure I shout everybody out, man. White Persuasion, what's the motherfucking deal? Roman Hedgecock, I see you. Brent, what's the motherfucking deal? Land of the Trill, Real Live, I see y'all. Cleveland, Texas, already. So while everybody getting that going, man. Man, look, White Persuasion, he had shit. We got somebody with 2 million sauce right now. That's all I'm saying. It's some sauce.
Oh, that was Brandon.
Yeah, he sold up a league. Jimmy T, what's the motherfucking deal? So, man, as we getting all that going, I want to want to make sure we get everybody in order. We're gonna make sure this is orderly, kind of stick to the script like we did last time. So we have, let me make sure, we got Debo, we got Phoenix,
Yeah.
we got Braylon, Bray. And when it ain't no Ray, we'll settle for Bray. We got the boy Spitz in the mix.
Damn, my boy Braylon in second rate. That's fucked up.
Nah, we all got love for Braylon. Too good for you. What's the motherfucking deal? All right, so we 4 deep, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not counting myself. So Darren, Phoenix, Braylon, Spitz. If I'm missing anybody, let me know. So here's the deal. Couple of things going on, not a whole lot. We're in a position where there's still a couple of things out there, but I don't think it's anything necessarily that's going to benefit the Texans or not the move in which we should go. But the news just broke about the owner, and it's not major, but what it is again, people being able to tie him in with certain types of comments and beliefs. It's like he keeps putting his foot in his mouth. And my thing is just, could you just shut up and sit down? I can't tell anybody how they feel. Can't tell anybody how they're supposed to feel about anything. Obviously, we know how he feels. We understand, or we have a good idea of his perspective at this point in time. But the comments he made were supporting Richardson, the Panthers. I want to say Jerry Richardson, if I'm not mistaken, the Panthers owner, and who basically got hit with some alleged sexual and racial allegations about some comments and things that he made, said, or did, or whatever. And Bob McNair basically was saying that, hey, maybe the stuff was, he was just joking. He didn't really mean it. It wasn't, this, that, and the third. Coming to the defense of a guy in a situation who, actually in the same situation as Bob McNair. Not saying that Bob McNair excused the sexual allegations, but there were rumors of sexual misconduct within the Texans organization. There was a lawsuit brought to the Texans a couple of months ago, I believe. And then we have, the racial situation where people want to associate Bob McNair with the taking a knee, with the not fucking with Colin Kaepernick, all those things. So, I mean, a similar situation. So he's defending a guy in a similar situation. How do y'all feel? And I think we have a good idea because we've talked about this enough, but with another story kind of coming up, how do you guys feel about Bob McNair's presence around this team? Does it have an effect, or is it lacking? So we'll start off with Darren. So the order will be Darren, Phoenix, Braylon, Spitz. We'll go in that order, then we'll reverse it as we go through the different questions. So how do you feel, Darren? How do you feel? What kind of effect or impact does Bob McNair's presence have on this Texans team?
I mean, outside of the Tyrann Mathieu sign, and look at the free agents we was able to bring in, that should speak for itself. I mean, we didn't go out and get any quality names. I mean, some of that can be pointed to, games not wanting to spend money because we got to pay Clowney. But I honestly believe a large portion of that is because a lot of these players are telling their agents, look, they don't want players that had anything to do with the anthem, so we don't want nothing to do with them. And it's a fucked up conundrum all around.
Okay. Phoenix, how do you feel about the situation that Bob McNair presents when it comes to this Texans organization?
I mean, at this point, either he needs to hand the organization over to Cal McNair, or he needs to learn to just sit down and shut the fuck up. Because he's not helping anything. He's really just hurting us, if anything. Like, that's all I got for that. I just can't do it.
Hey, I got a real question real quick, and I'm sorry to cut anybody off, but y'all think he might be doing this on purpose?
We'll talk about that. We'll bring that up. That's a good idea. But Braylon, how do you feel about Bob McNair and what he presents as the owner of this Texans organization?
This organization would be laughed at for the stupidest organization. The Panthers got more respect for us. Their owner got to sell a team. He just don't make something to say. Try to make it seem like he meant it was a joke. Nah, it's Trust me, it's not a joke. Y'all meant what y'all said. You meant what you said.
Okay.
That's it. I don't think about it.
But it
Jerry
said,
Jones was going to be named.
said that meant that represent that. Spitz, how do you feel about the situation with Bob McNair and the does it have an effect on the Texans and what they're trying to do as an organization? What's up, Visionary? What's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to Visionary. Always good to see you, man.
Y'all want?
Did it cut out for anyone else?
Now he cut out for me.
Yeah, like it's like real in and out.
Oh yeah,
Y'all can hear me?
Now
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Like everybody said, I think he needs to sit down and stretch.
What?
That all put together.
Man, look, we are currently getting contacted by aliens from an outer planetary source. We have to figure out what's going on. Y'all know it's kind of cutting in and out. It sounded real crazy.
That's not Spitz. That's his alter ego, Spritz.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. No, not that, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's bad enough y'all done started it with me. Don't do my boy Spitz like that.
Man, look, man, you started that one. We got to put that one on you. We are crediting
no, I
you.
just started that shit.
Nah, so you started the during that. You started the Spritz. All right. So we have a little bit of technical difficulty. I don't know what it is. It sounded a little bit crazy, but like I said, we'll get it all figured out. Try to get it together. I'm not sure what was shaking on there. Can you hear us, Spitz?
He gone. He
jumped out. Okay, left that thing. Okay, so we'll put
He got tired of us roasting.
all right, we'll put a special star by Spitz's name just in case he ends up coming back in the chat. Okay, so and like I said, I can tell a lot of people in there saying, Bob McNair doesn't really have an effect, and they don't feel like, what he's doing is going to affect us long term. But the presence in the national media is part of my thing. I talk often about why does the national media hate Houston? And I think things like this kind of tie into it because I think it makes it of the belief that, all Houstonians feel this way or something, even though Houston is the most diverse city in the country. But I think that the national media uses narratives like this to paint a picture of what's going on down here. And I mean, it's just it's part of a reason for them to continue hating. That's why I say I want to see this team, this city represented in a good light. Not only to be concerned about us when we're suffering from hurricane damage or something like that or some accident like that. I mean, in a good light, just for being what this city really is. Distraction when it comes about football umpire. Let me see. Say, yeah, but I mean, pretty much. Yeah, you ever say hello? But they were like last year. They were just about football. The only time the Texans really did anything last year was when the inmates' comments came out, and I think that was more a stab at Bob McNair than anything else. So, yeah, I would say that.
Sounds important. You might want to take that.
Nah, if I wanted to take it, I would say, hey, you guys get off the fucking shit. I got to take this call. But with that being said, so, I mean, at this point, like we talked about, we've been mentioning that the talent has dried up pretty much in the free agency. There's a couple of names out there. Eric Reed is still out there on the market. Nobody is paying any attention to him. So we're going to start with Braylon, and we're going to work our way backwards in the Windy City. So why do you think that Eric Reed has not garnered any attention from anybody out there on the market?
He's being treated just as bad as Kaepernick is being treated right now. Straight to the point, simple, done.
Okay. All right, Phoenix. How do you feel about it? What do you think the reason is that Eric Reed is getting no action, no play?
Well, I think it's one of two things. It's either A, team C, the talent in the secondary in this upcoming draft, and they're just like, nah, we're not about to pay this dude when we can get someone young and we can develop. Either that, or like Braylon said, they're like blackballing him because he was vocal about all those issues and stuff like Kaepernick. Not to the extent of Kaepernick, but he was still pretty vocal about it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Oh shit! Yeah. Matter of fact, I need to give King 88 his upgrade because he had the most sauce last time.
That nigga. What you doing? I need to know.
Do you need a ride? What is going down? All right, there we go.
Yo, Darren, bro, they getting at you, and it's not me this time. It's Heidi.
Man, look, so
it's always Heidi.
Yeah, Heidi always on.
I ain't tripping. I mean, when don't Heidi hop on the channel and talk about me? So I mean, continue. Next topic, please.
Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Mr. Darren, sir.
Like,
Mr.
G like that. That's how you handle it.
Well, sorry.
Man, she said the Darren mobile got a flat tire.
Well, apologize, Sir Darren, for wasting your time. How do you feel about the Eric Reed situation, and why do you see it being the way that it is?
I mean, look at it for what it is. I mean, he involved himself with the Kaepernick situation. I mean, and that you saw how the owners used that with them not signing Cap. So I mean, they're pretty much ostracizing Eric Reed the way that they did Cap, and it's not fair. It's fucked up. But I mean, only time will tell. You know, I mean, like we all know this. You know, every year injuries happen, and of course they're gonna have to call somebody now. Once these injuries start happening, he don't get any calls, then yeah, we can officially say that he's been blackballed or whiteballed, so to say.
Okay.
Put a whole new word.
Yeah, that was some brand new stuff. I've never quite heard it put in that fashion, but
whiteballed.
All right, whiteballed. So with that being said, we're talking about that. This is a safety, or not a safety, but a secondary heavy draft. And maybe not so much as far as the talent in the OL. The Texans are going to be in need of a tackle, maybe more than one. So Darren, starting with you, we'd like to know your legitimate thoughts, what you believe the Texans can really actually do. No far-fetched, no hopes, no praise, no this, and this. I mean, realistic scenarios. Or if you feel like they are going to move up to do something, you have to present a realistic scenario. How do you think the Texans will end up handling this offensive line situation come to the draft?
Well, it all depends on, when it get here. Alex Kappa, he's a well-known name that's been floated around a lot. Braden Smith, he might be there, but who knows? I mean, like I said, it's tough because we're in the third round and we're not, as of yet, it doesn't look like we're going to trade up. So, I mean, that's really all I got for that one.
Okay. Phoenix, how do you see the Texans legitimately handling the offensive line situation? Do you see it? I actually should have offered an option of: do you see future tackle being on the roster already? Do you see it happening through the draft? Because free agency is looking like a no-go. Because I believe Fleming is going to the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. But how do you see the Texans handling this? Because we are still missing a couple of pieces on the offensive line.
All right. Well, being honest, I don't think we're trading up to get a tackle. I highly doubt it. I mean, that is the biggest need on the team because we have 2 tackles on this roster, Chitrell Henderson and Davenport. Well, I do think...
Man, let's respect that man. Stop saying Chitrell, all right?
I can't do that.
Sean Trill, man. I'm telling you, boy, Trill.
No. Until he fucking starts... If he starts 5 games this year, I'll put some respect on his name. And it isn't horrible like Giacomini.
Okay.
That's what it'll take.
Shit,
but anyways. Anyways. I do think we're going to stand pat in this draft. And I do think we're going to end up taking 2 offensive linemen in the draft. Not necessarily like both early, but I do think we will take a tackle with one of those thirds, and then we'll take either a guard or another tackle in round like 6 or 7.
Okay. Now, do you see these guys end up being just depth? Do you think that they can find some starter quality talent in these later rounds?
Well, there are players who could slip. Like, I do think teams might sleep on Isaiah Wynn, especially since he just came off of a labrum surgery.
Yeah.
I do think teams could be like, oh, well, he did just have surgery, bump him down on the board, especially since there's a lot of skill positions that they could take.
Yeah.
I think teams could him down. So he could make it to that first pick in the 3rd, but I don't think he's making anywhere like mid-3rd or anything like that.
Okay.
Then there's I already heard his name mentioned once, Alex Kappa. I think he'd be good. I think he could be the guy who would keep us set at right tackle, honestly.
Okay. Sorry, Gary Barnage.
No Barnage. No.
Oh man.
Never.
So El Bray Bray.
Oh fuck, man.
I'd like to know your thoughts.
Keep on adding on. Keep on adding on to it.
I would just like to know, your thoughts. How do you see the Texans? What direction do you see the Texans going in? With what they are going to be able to do as far as bolstering this roster via the draft. Do you see them being able to do something as far as addressing the tackle situation?
All right, so the tackle situation, there's still one player that I would sign. Hopefully, we can get him on a dirt cheap contract, and that's Greg Robinson, tackle. Just because he still has the upside, he's still what is he like 20, 25?
Yeah, he's 25.
He's young. He still have an upside, but knowing Bill O'Brien, he's gonna look like shit. He's gonna look like Suafilo. In the draft, I agree with Doug just on the fact that Isaiah Wynn will not have a pro day or a combine. That is huge. He did not perform at the combine or pro day. That's pretty huge. That's brilliant. That's big. A lot of teams want to see what they can, bench press or their 3-cone drill at 60-yard shuttle. Some of the footwork drills that they have for offensive linemen, I forgot what that one is called that I saw. That except for Quentin Nelson. But Isaiah Wynn, Alex Kappa, Braden Smith, Ragnar for Arkansas. That's all I see for the Texans offensive line. But I believe they're taking a tight end with their first pick in the 3rd round, especially if Gesicki or Ian Thomas is there.
Okay. So starting with you, Braden.
What are you here?
Huh?
But
Spitz
is here. He's muted.
Okay.
Is he? Yeah.
Okay.
Rich, you there? You able to talk?
Okay, we'll give him a second.
Hey, but can I add one more thing I forgot to say for the win stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, everybody in Houston, at least who follows the Texans heavy, knows O'Brien likes players he's familiar with and has worked with in the past. We got to keep in mind he worked with Wynn at the Senior Bowl, so that might play a factor in us getting him.
Okay.
Oh, now what was that tight end from Notre Dame?
I'm blanking on his name right now.
He performed at the Senior Bowl. He did pretty good.
Okay. Well, we'll start with Braden, and I wanted to address this issue. How do you feel? And I saw some people just actually mentioning it before I got to it. How do you feel about the Texans taking possibly a late 3rd and taking a flyer on Orlando Brown if he's available?
Oh, damn. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Damn. Damn.
It's bad when he said all that.
Damn, bro. Why would you pick Orlando Brown in the situation, bro? If that shit was to happen, if that was to happen, we might as well say bye bye to Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry. Don't do my man's like that. No. No. No, don't no. I no damn. Phoenix, it's your turn. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that there's no fucking chance I would be happy with us getting him. I mean, when I did the Pro Football Focus stuff, I had to watch tape of him play against Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It was his side that got beat every single play. Every play. College competition. So we want to take him and then move him against NFL pass rushers? No, I can't do that. Like, it would be Breno Giacomini with a tiny amount of upside. That's it.
Man, is it that bad?
Just because he's young. Just because he's young. That's the only reason I say a tiny bit.
Okay.
I mean, he did improve his speed a bit by 0.2 of a second.
So you actually spent some extensive time watching him. So I mean, are you familiar with what it is? What is it that all the experts are seeing in this kid? What is it that had them rating him originally so high, and then, you know, of course, the combine came and his pro day came and his stock just basically plummeted? I mean, so you think it was purely a size issue? Is what it is? Okay.
Well, I think it's a size kind of thing, and then also I think, honestly, the quarterback behind him throwing, Mayfield, I think that helped him because Mayfield was able to buy some time. So, you know, less sacks from his side, that kind of thing. That's the only real logic I can put behind it, other than size.
I said his size and his dad. What is his dad another LeVar Ball?
Oh, yeah. His dad did play football, but he was a career backer.
Oh, okay. It is what it is.
That should tell you more than enough.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You said the Big 12 defenses. Yeah, you ain't lying about that. Okay.
What defense is in the Big 12?
No. He was saying there's not a lot of pass rush, so there's not a lot of defense in the Big 12. So, okay, I saw somebody ask. I'm sorry, my bad, Darren. Well, what are your thoughts on Orlando Brown? Would you take a flyer on it? Would you take a risk? I mean, you know, the people say there's plenty of upside. That he has all this potential. I mean, is he a guy that you'd be willing to risk a pick on to see if he could develop into something the Texans could utilize in the future?
All right, now I'm known for doing some crazy shit, but no, I can't on this. Watson is the future, and I refuse to put him in a situation like how Derek Carr was in, where as soon as he says height, he's looking like a deer in the headlights, just going, I cannot afford to have that or afford to look at that. So, no.
Okay. So you wouldn't take the risk of looking at him as a future project, a prospect?
If this how little interest I have in him. I'm telling the GM, I'm telling my scouts, if you bring me any reports back on him, you're fired.
Well, damn, like
if
that.
You bring back if you bring back his social security number, you're fired. Anything related to Orlando Brown, you're fired. Matter of fact, you want to go to Orlando Brown, go take your ass to Florida, you know what I'm saying, and hop on one of the Disney rides or something. Have all the Orlando you want out there.
All right. So I saw some people. I saw someone ask earlier. We started with Darren.
Why is in the thing now? And I think Spitz is back too.
Okay.
I already covered that earlier. You're late.
Hey, yeah, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Okay,
Yelling like Samuel Jackson, though.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Hey, you said Wise is in the mix here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll add you.
Yeah. I'm in a mix.
All right, I'll put you at number 5 there. So the order will remain Darren, Phoenix, Braylon, Spitz, then Wise, and vice versa. Excuse me. So starting with Darren, man, I saw somebody ask about a situation in particular on this team, and it's something that we haven't addressed yet, really, but we do have someone on the roster. The backup quarterback. Right now, Tyler, whatever it is, Heineken, I know that's not his real name, Heineke, is currently the only backup quarterback that we have on the roster. I think we actually haven't signed for a couple of years. Do you feel like Heineke will be sufficient, or do you feel like it's of the utmost importance that the Texans go out and find a solid backup quarterback just in case?
Oh, that's a tough one because he looked kind of streaky when they threw him out there when he was operating with the no huddle. You know, he was generating positive yards, but if like Watson was to go down and he's like the only backup, no, I can't bank on him being that bridge until Watson gets back.
Okay.
So I mean, to answer that, you know, I would still go and draft a quarterback.
All right. So, I mean, is there any particular name in the draft that you see being a reasonable pickup for the Texans?
If he's there off TV, off the muscle, if Lamar Jackson is there, I'm taking him because I believe what these scouts and what these people are saying is complete bullshit. I've watched this man play, and I'm glad that they made that stat adjustment. You know, for how his completion percentage was when his receivers weren't dropping the ball. Like, the dude could play. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting him to go out and shine more than Watson, but if he was to get drafted by the Texans, I can guarantee you Bill O'Brien will have all these scouts looking like, why didn't we take this dude early? He's sitting there as a backup, and we could have brought him in to get started.
Okay. So, Phoenix, how do you feel about the backup quarterback situation? Do you think Mr. Heineken will be a valuable or valid, serviceable at least, quarterback, or do the Texans need to find a backup body immediately?
Oh, no, he's not going to be serviceable. I guarantee that he's not. I mean, I do think at this point we're not signing a quarterback to back up Watson in free agency, because if we were, it probably would have happened already. So I do think we end up drafting a QB late. And I know Lamar Jackson would be a great backup, but honestly, I can't fucking do it, because personally I know how fucking Texans fans are going to be if Deshaun Watson has one bad, not even a game, one bad half. They're going to be like, bro, fucking bench him, dude. Put him on the bench. Put Lamar Jackson in. I don't want to listen to that stupid shit. I really don't.
Duck, you had me until you said get him out of there at the half. I can pretty much speak for every Texans fan and all of Sauce Nation when I say this. After seeing what we saw last year, I wouldn't give a damn if he fucked up for a half. I'm not about to pull a cord on him because I know what he can do.
Okay. Let's say in this, he fucking pulls a Brian Hoyer from the Chiefs game in the playoffs. Let's say he has that kind of first half. Are you not thinking about benching him then?
Boy, you being mad disrespectful, but
Hey, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying.
No. I'm fucking with you.
Always a possibility.
But nah, I don't honestly. And this is just fuck it. You can call me a homer for this one. I believe in Watson so much that I don't even think that's even in his genetic code to have a game like that.
Oh no, I mean I think Watson plays all 16 games. I just want somebody to back him up just in case our offensive line is shit like it was.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if we taking all these stabs and shit, we might as well go see what Vince Young doing.
Stop.
Don't take that serious. Don't take that serious.
Then they get the Cheesecake Factory. Braylon.
I do have one name that we have to talk about for the draft, though.
Spill it.
I think JT Barrett could end up being the backup quarterback of yours.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard some people, some rumblings. I remember earlier before free agency, I had a couple people mention it. Like I said, I had not seen him. People were saying that he was kind of, less accurate. But he ended up running his 40 wasn't that fast, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's the thing. His 40 was like lackluster because if you watch him in college, he looks much quicker than what he ran. But I do think he could end up being in Houston just because he's going to be one of those guys who's going to be there like 6th and 7th round for sure.
Yeah.
So I do think it'd be like the best situation if we were going to take one. I know he's not the best guy we could get as the backup, but I do think for what we'd have to like use to get him, he'd be the best.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. I'm trying to pull information.
Okay, Brandon. So yeah, right. I'm going to ask you your opinion on the same thing. How do you feel about the Texans and what they need to do with the backup quarterback situation, or is Taylor Heineke a solid second? I'm trying. I mean, I'm like trying to inject a little bit of positivity in my life, but I can't do it. I've tried. But how do you feel? So what do you think is the move that the Texans must make for the best of the team's sake?
Backup wise, 3 names in the draft I'm looking at. Kyle Laletta from Richmond. That Woodside dude from Toledo. Ah man, he's an underrated quarterback. Underrated. And of course, my favorite, most people in the roundtable favorite, Ben Kirk from Virginia.
Okay, now I've heard this name a lot. I haven't really had a chance to see him. What is that? BENKIRK?
Say everybody.
Yeah.
I watched tape on him. After he make his first read, if his first read not there, it's like he get lost. He look like Savage in college.
Lost in the sauce? Good grief.
Which
college Savage? Because I mean, Savage went to several colleges and he hopped all around.
Honcho, you ain't shit, man.
It's the fact. So what I'm just saying, I just stated the fact. I'm just asking which Savage you thought it was. I mean, that's all I want to know. But what were you saying, Brandon? You were talking about Ben Kirk is a guy that you would take a flyer on. Okay.
Ben Kirk, Carl Laletta, and Woodside. I forgot his first name. It's Woodside something from Toledo.
Okay. Toledo. Shout out to the Toledo. What's Toledo? The Rockets, aren't they? But shout out to the real Rockets. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say too, my Rockets prediction was extremely close. I was 1 point off. I was 1 point off for the Rockets. I had 118, and I had, I think, 97 for Atlanta. So I was just a little bit off. So I'm gonna give everybody a bunch of sauce because I'm feeling like.
Hey, King 88, Mason Rudolph. Before we went on, I called him the fucking Brian Hoyer of this draft. He's gonna be a dude who's a journeyman who you bring in when you're desperate. Miss Cleo.
Yeah, I'm feeling. Call me now for your rocket reading. I get your perfect prediction on the score. So Spitz, how do you feel if you back in the mix, man? How do you feel about the Texans and their QB situation, the backup quarterback situation? Do you think Taylor Heineke could be a serviceable QB, or do they immediately need to seek additional help?
My personal like Heineke, I think he's one of those guys that if you take him to camp, he's not gonna make it to the 53 roster. He's gonna be one of those first, second day cuts. I'm just being real. I think he's a player who definitely could easily be on the chopping block. I mean, I know people been talking about Ben Kirk. I haven't watched a lot of film on him, but what I have seen, I wasn't super impressed. But this is coming from a guy that we talking about draft as a backup quarterback, so it's not like he has to be a world beater. But I wasn't super impressed. I still have to do some more studying on him. But I mean, if we're talking about backup quarterbacks, I'm actually glad you brought this up because we already know what it should do. A little debate with somebody in one of my comment sections or one of my last videos talking about Cap, and the guy was trying to explain the reason why Cap wouldn't be a good look here because this is the state of Texas. It's a Republican state with a Republican owner, and the fans will be behind it. And I told him point blank, I said, like, I 100% guarantee, if Kaepernick was on this roster, and something happened to Deshaun, and Cap came out there, and the Texans won, the NRG Stadium would be full on that playoff game. I guarantee you that. I don't care who's playing quarterback. I can be playing quarterback back then. NRG is going to be full. So that all that's bull. That's just straight bull. But I mean, we already know what it is. Ain't no reason to beat a dead horse. Um, I would like for them to go after RG3. I even heard, and this must be, it had to be an Aggie fan that was telling me this, talking about let's go after Johnny Manziel. I mean, why would you go after Johnny Manziel?
Nah, hey, I'd kill myself. No, no.
That makes zero sense. Like
Why the fuck would you go down that?
What?
Exactly.
No, Johnny Manziel. What do you mean?
Hey, no. Now, if we talking,
I was a Johnny fan. I was a Johnny fan when he was at A&M. Like, don't like Johnny was one of my favorite college quarterbacks to watch. But I'm not putting him on my NFL team. No.
Hey, if we throwing a party, yeah, Johnny. Hey,
it's gonna be lit.
Yeah. Johnny come to party. It's going down. It's really going down. Yeah, I'm talking about we signing Quavo to a $2 million 2-year deal. He probably making more money than that rapping. I hope he.
Hey, he can perform at halftime every game.
Nah, he not. Actually, Quavo not making as much money as you think, man. So, so they do like 100,000 a show total.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they split that 3 ways. Quavo not making the money he do.
Man, I mean, shit.
But I think that like Quavo actually like beat.
But if you doing a show a day, shit at 33, and then you got to think about endorsement. They got them funky ass rap snacks. You know what I'm saying? And some other shit. They got a bunch of other shit going on. But you got to think too with that 100,000 a show is like, you know, agent is getting like, or a manager is getting a decent cut out of that. You know, so. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of it's gonna be a whole bunch of shit going back and forth, but you can't just count just show money. It's gonna be other things going on. But we ain't worried about the motherfucking pocket. They ain't playing for the motherfucking Texans, and so
the label don't get show money. Show money is yours. Label.
Mm-hmm. But
show money goes straight to the artist.
Yeah. But I saw the clips.
I know that for a fact.
Hey, me and Spitz going on tour.
Really?
My boy Spitz was a rapper back in the day.
It's gonna be Spitz and ashes. The Phoenix that rise from spits and ashes. Rising from the ashes, going down. Okay, my fault, Spitz. I don't know if you got to finish your statement on that about the backup quarterback, but we're gonna shoot out to.
If we going, I would read in the draft. I really like that kid from South Florida, Flowers.
No.
Damn.
Actually, he is horrible.
I can't comment. I haven't looked at him.
Sorry. I've never seen one throw the ball as bad as he did in the combine. Nobody is in your face.
I'm not one of those guys that look at people balling in the combine and they pro day. I mean, Johnny killed this combine.
Hey, I mean,
and what you call it? Marcus Russell has the greatest combine of all. I mean, has the greatest pro day of all time. I mean, I look at games. Like I watch film and I watch games, and I see him play on a couple of. I was actually watching the actual game. I wasn't even looking for him. I was just watching the game just because the game was on TV. And as a 6, I mean, my quarterback get hurt, he can run my same offense.
But I mean, I do think throwing at the combine matters. I really do. I know what happens in the game should matter more than what happens at the combine. But regardless, especially if you're one of these guys who will be either a late round pick or undrafted, if you fail to show up at the combine, which could determine your fucking football career, when you fail to do that, that says something to me about your talent. Like, I get you threw out Jamarcus Russell and Manziel, but I mean, they had off-field shit too.
All right, man. Can I also say?
But who had a better combine out of Watson and Trubisky?
Watson.
Watson. I mean,
Watson only missed. Watson only missed 4 passes on the entire day.
Because people was like foaming at the mouth, and that's all I was hearing all last year. This time is Trubisky.
Okay.
But
All
now they
right.
were saying that
Let's go keep it rolling here. Wise, I want to give you a shot to put your flavor on it. How do you feel about the Texans and their backup QB situation? What is the move that the Texans need to make?
Well, talking about the dude we got right now, I'm on Spitz level. He ain't gonna make the 53-man roster. It's a reason why we called T.J. Yates and brought him off the couch to play in the game rather than have him play. You get what I'm saying? But I like the quarterback from Washington State, Luke Falk.
oh we ah
They comparing him to Kirk Cousins. He good in the pocket. He can make passes and he got a good accuracy. So I think we might go after him, or we might go after the what's the other guy again from Richmond? Kyle.
no oh yeah Kyle
Yeah, yeah,
Kyle
that guy's nice too. So I think we
Willetta.
might go after one of them, or maybe give RG3 a call, but I don't think so. So
all right, can I say something about Luke Falk real quick?
No.
No.
But yeah, go ahead. Spill your sauce, man.
All right, man. Luke Falk, no, he does not fit our system at all. He's no, does not at all. He's a pocket
Hey,
quarterback.
hey,
He
hey,
might be the most accurate one, but no.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. He doesn't fit the system, but who the fuck have we ever gotten that is fitting our system? Who?
he does got
Like, I get
It should have
that.
been changed
Like,
for
you
sweeps.
can't tell me O'Brien won't look at that fucking accuracy because he is damn accurate. You can't
Oh,
tell
yeah.
me he's
Oh,
not
of
going to
course.
look at that and fall in love. I can see him going to us. I honestly can. Should he? No. But could he? Yeah.
All right, talking about the system. Everybody succeeded when we was running a spread, read option type. Everybody moving, even the quarterback moving with Watson. But then as soon as we went back to just having the quarterback in the pocket, T.J. Yates, and it didn't look like Yates we thought he was going to. Of course, we know what Tom Savage looked like. Looked like a savage on the field. Didn't know what he was.
See, we know this, but does Bill O'Brien know that? That's the real question.
You see,
Does he
yeah,
know
that's
this,
my thing.
man?
That's my thing. Bill O'Brien, I think he's fucking cocky as shit when it comes to offense. I really do. Because, I mean, everybody praises him as this fucking guru when it comes to offense, but he's done little without Deshaun Watson. I get there were lack of quarterbacks, but, I mean, it was a shit show before Deshaun Watson was in.
Okay. But, they talk about a lot of times, great coaches always having that great quarterback and great QBs always having that great coach. Except for Peyton Manning, he bounced around and did it. But you look at Tom Brady, his legacy will always be tied to Bill Belichick and vice versa.
Unless Brady goes to the Browns and wins the Super Bowl.
Oh, that would be greatness. I want to see the Brown gets one after we get ours because they gave us the pieces to get where we're at. So fuck the Browns till we win one, but then after we win one, go Browns. But
That's true with all sports, though.
yeah. So what I would like to see is that maybe this is that connection. Maybe this is the connection that B.O.B. has that quarterback that he needs to take him to the next level. I think if it was he's talented enough to make him say, you know what, let me throw out what I originally had going on and let me do something different. I think that's enough to say that he recognizes that this kid can really do some damage, that he can really do some different things. Now I'm wondering, and I'm curious. I say it almost feels like a culture shift because when did the Texans ever really go out and evaluate guys like Lamar Jackson? And so, starting with Wise, I want to know: do you really feel like overall? I mean, because we've taken some guys like Colvin, who's had a little bit of an issue, nothing major, in the past. We've taken the Honey Badger, even though his stuff was way back in college. People still kind of were leery on him, and he's had some injuries and some other little things. But he's a little bit of a feisty guy. Taking on a couple of personalities, like I say, was it Henderson that had the weed and all that other stuff. Do you really truly feel that a culture shift has been made with the Texans? Do you think that they're going to be willing to make more risky picks from here on out?
Yeah and no. It all depends on. I mean, we have became more risk averse, basically. But it depends on what's this dude name? The owner,
McNair.
McNair. Yeah. that dude. I still want us to look at Eric Reed. Why we not taking a chance on Eric Reed? We still have a need at safety. But yeah, overall, I think we taking more of a risk on players and stuff like that. But I was watching NFL Network and they had TJ Who's Your Mama. I don't know if you guys remember him, but yeah, and he was saying that NFL teams need savages on their team because they was talking about the Michael Bennett situation, and they was saying Russell Wilson is a quiet boy, and NFL execs don't like that. So I think the Texans seem that we need to be more advantageous, and we need to bring in some savages in here to make some moves.
Exactly. I do agree. Spitz, how do you feel? Do you feel like the Texans have turned the corner and they are willing to take a flyer on more raucous, rowdy players? YOLO?
He did.
Oh, man, you gone. Bray. So I want to know how you feel. tell me how you feel about the the situation.
It's all right, Dana. I got you, man. I got you, David.
How do you feel about the Texans? Do you feel like they've turned the corner? Do you feel like they're willing to entertain more risky, I guess you would, quote unquote, risky players to bring into the organization?
I believe some of that, risky players. Matter of fact, I think most of it wasn't Bob. I think it was Rick Smith being scared of doing that. I don't know. Because all of a sudden we get a GM and he goes off for the players that, has dog in them, that has problem off the field. But Rick Smith didn't go after that. I think that was Rick Smith. Okay. I'm not saying that it was a full culture change. I'm just saying maybe that's Rick Smith thinking some of that. Although we all
I disagree on that one.
I do. I agree. I disagree on that.
I'm just saying the one change that happened in the office was the GM, and we saw as soon as Rick Smith got out of here, dogs started coming. Tyrant is a dog. Colvin is a dog. Shit Trail smokes weed. Come on.
But no, they never had no problem with people smoking weed. Deontay got caught with weed.
Mm-hmm. But he passed his drug test. But when he passed all the drug tests. As soon as he took a drug test like immediately, like as soon as he got out of jail. So that's why they ain't had nothing on him with that one.
But Jalen Strong got arrested and had service suspension about it.
And he even fucking confessed to it and apologized.
So they never, and actually Bob McNair said himself that he don't care. He doesn't care about weed. But that character issue, that's completely on Bob McNair. Like, I mean, Tyron has done nothing since he's been in the NFL. Like that was only when he was in the NFL. He's been like a mild since, and like I don't think Colvin has any character issues off the field. So I wouldn't say that we've changed. I mean, we got people who got, I guess, like as you say, a little attitude with him on the field. I mean, but we had Dan Swearinger. Like Swearinger had attitude on the field too.
He lasted the whole 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's not like it's now we've never got like a lot of them, but I mean, we've had some here and there. Yeah, we never had like any main people like that.
Right, and that's what I was getting ready. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Like, we went when Rick.
I'm not gonna put that on Rick. I think that's more of a Bob McNair thing, and then I think if you got, I mean, if we're gonna be real, Rick can't take that many chances. If you feel what I'm saying, the position he's at, coming from where he come from, he really can't take that many chances. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Another situation. Well, I'm actually going to jump back to Phoenix. So my fault. Let Phoenix let you put your thoughts on that. Have the Texans made a culture change? Have they gone in a different direction as far as who they're considering and bringing into this organization? What's the motherfucking deal? So you saw the Pimp C?
Kind of, and I only say kind of because I do think we're taking a step in that direction. Just because, I mean, who was the last person we had on defense that would get up in somebody's face and start talking. What, Clowney, maybe, sometimes?
Young Brian Cushion.
Yeah.
Younger Brian Cushion, pre-injuries and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Swearinger, maybe. I mean, I just think about it like this. Colvin, we know he talks on the field a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Tyron definitely talks a lot on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just look at the people we've signed, and I just look at them like, okay, these guys are talkers. They want it. They'll let you know about it too.
Yeah.
So in that way, I do think we're transitioning to that. But in another sense, I also don't, just because some of these guys were kind of no-brainers. Like you can't tell me there's a single team in this league who would look at Tyrann Mathieu asking for only $7 million for 1 year and say, nah, we're not going to bring you on even though you was a Pro Bowler just because you talk on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I know Colvin's not exactly a fucking shutdown corner, but I mean, he's better than what we had last season. So I don't think we could look at him and go, yeah, no, I know you're better than what we have, but we don't want you because you like to talk shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay. I can see that.
Shit, the Patriots had a whole killer on the field.
Catching bodies.
No, I want to say one more thing, though.
Okay.
It's kind of unrelated, but if our fucking special team sucks this year, I want people fucking gone. We're paying all this damn money to special teamers, and we bet it better work.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's actually a good question. We'll mention that here in a few, too. Darren, get your thoughts on the situation.
As far as have we made a culture shift? Yes and no, depending on what side of the ball you're looking at. If you're talking about offense, yeah, I can say that because Rick Smith was the guy that brought in Watson. Whether you, however you want to look at that or determine that, you know, that was a bold move that Rick Smith made. So you can't really just say that he people, you know what I'm saying? He brought in Swearinger, pushing, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention J.J. Watt getting your shit too if you fuck with him enough. You know what I'm saying? So there's him. Now, as far as on defense, going forward, no. Because you brought in Colvin, these dudes, they gonna talk, but when you think about it, the players that everybody's talking about, they gonna get in your shit and they probably gonna draw a 15-yard penalty, you know what I'm saying, on some shit. These dudes are smart. They're not gonna make those kind of mistakes or whatnot, you know what I mean? So it's like dog was a dog. You know what I'm saying? You don't think, I can honestly say I don't think the Texans are gonna bring him in. It would be a good move on the line, but you know, they're not gonna bring him in. So as far as that goes, no.
Okay. I'm trying to catch up on some of this history lesson that's shaking in the chat. All right. We're going to do, this is a special requested question for Phoenix. So what we'll do is we'll start with Phoenix on this one, and then we'll go down the list, and we'll get to Darren last on this one. And we'll just kind of restructure the order since it's a special request. Sean asked, Phoenix, I'd like to hear your opinions on the top 5 QBs in this draft.
All right. Yeah, I saw him post this in the chat earlier, but we was talking about something else at the time. So I'm glad he texted this in. My list is not going to be like one of these fucking ESPN lists. I guarantee you that. So my best quarterback, it did recently just change after these pro days happened, but my top quarterback, Sam Darnold. I have to have him as my one. After watching what he did at his pro day, he looked
Appreciate
great.
Your love, Ferocious.
I mean, halfway through his pro day, it started raining, and then he looked even better. So that said something to me. So Sam Darnold is now my 1. My number 2, Lamar Jackson. Now, I know people want to ride this train of, oh, Lamar Jackson should be a wide receiver in the NFL. He didn't look phenomenal at the college. That's such bullshit, and it's retarded. Like, I mean, that's like saying, oh, Rodgers hurt his shoulder this last season. He should consider going to tight end. Like, no. Like, Lamar Jackson is a quarterback. I know he has inaccuracies at times, but I don't think you can find me a quarterback who hasn't had inaccurate moments at all. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I believe inaccuracies was the criticism on Deshaun Watson when he was coming out. So Lamar Jackson's my 2.
Okay.
My 3, Baker Mayfield. Now, with this, I'm going to say this. I think Baker Mayfield is a complete and utter dickhead. And I know people want to say, oh, the Johnny Manziel comparisons are so lazy. No, they're fucking not. Baker Mayfield has been known to fucking party. I mean, shit, there's a fucking video of him getting fucking laid out by a cop. So, yeah, that Johnny Manziel stuff off the field, it's not ridiculous. So, that being said, Baker Mayfield on the field is accurate. He's not a burner like a Lamar Jackson, but he's mobile enough to move outside the pocket. And he seems to want to win more than other people. So I have him at my number 3.
Okay.
4th, Rosen. I don't like Rosen. I'm going to be I don't like him. I think he's overhyped. He looks average at the college level to me. And I think it's really just build that's propelling him up. And do I need to go a 5th or?
Appreciate that, Ferocious. Yeah, you
I just do my top 4.
Just drop the live at 5, man.
And honestly, after that 4th, it kind of drops off for me. I'm gonna get shit for this. I do think I have Falk as my 5th.
Okay.
Just because I think you put him. I think if you.
Who again? My bad. Cause you got
Luke
cut
Falk.
out. Right?
Luke Falk. I have him at my 5th. Just because I think if you put him on the right team, I think he can ball out. Because when I see accuracy like his, and I know he's not mobile, but he's very aware in the pocket. When I see that kind of stuff, I think, hey, if you put him on a team with an offensive line, this kid's going to be really, really good.
Rosen
like,
is
give
garbage.
him a Tennessee
I'm
offensive
flip
line
all my sauce.
with that accuracy,
Appreciate the love.
I'd be much more afraid of Tennessee. Okay. So he's my 5th.
Okay. All right, White Persuasion. I appreciate the love. And Ferocious, yeah, I do have a P.O. box. I need to go renew that motherfucker while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I do have a P.O. box. The thing is in the it's linked. It was in the ad. It's in the description. So that's all Gucci. Okay, so that's the top 5. So before we just go all the way down, does anybody else want to drop their personal top 5 QBs?
Yeah.
Okay, what you got, brother?
My number 1 QB, I'm about to get so much hate from Doug. It's Rosen.
Oh my! I should leave the call. I should leave the call.
Yeah, Doug is about to get so much hate.
Oh my! I need to know why. I need to.
All right. He is the most pro level ready quarterback.
Oh my heart.
On the IQ level. I'm sorry. And that may be the common thing for me. But he is the most IQ ready. You can give him a playbook and he'll be ready to give it and explain it to you.
Y'all trying to kill me.
I'm not trying to kill you, man. I'm just saying. My second best quarterback is, of course, Sam Darnold. It's Sam Darnold, undoubtedly. With the O-line he had, he did better than what most quarterbacks would do. I mean, there's no explaining that one. My third, Doug's gonna have a heart attack with this one. And
I can't breathe.
Josh Allen. I'm
Boy,
sorry.
your laugh is so funny.
You just can't pass up that arm talent to throw from the 40 and throw a strike to the 25.
Ryan Mallett.
No,
Where do you see the Ryan Mallett at? Just tell me. Tell me where the Ryan Mallett you see.
What you just explained? What you mean?
no, I mean, okay, there's a reason I didn't have him in my top 5. I can't fucking stand him. I mean, fucking watching him, how the fuck are you a quarterback who's more accurate deep than 10 fucking yards away from you? Like, the man missed check downs, for God's sake.
God damn.
It's like Madden when you turn the quarterback accuracy sliders all the way down to 0. You guys can't.
I saw her Instagram. She fine then a mother.
As an avid Madden player,
Shout out to Ferocious.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Doug is my bad, Doug. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm not trying to kill you at all.
Oh, it seems like it.
Okay.
My fourth best quarterback is Luke Falk.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay. Now I really gotta listen.
It's okay. Luke Falk is okay. Behind Rosen, he's legit the most pro-ready quarterback. It's his pocket awareness, his footwork, his accuracy, all of that's clean. It's just a few things, IQ wise, reading defenses that could set him apart from possibly being the best quarterback in this draft 3 to 4 years from now. Not right now, but let's say the Patriots get this man. The Patriots get this man. They having a dynasty still. I'm just saying that right now. I mean, do anybody disagree with that one?
Nope.
Get out, brother.
If the Patriots get, I'm not gonna be happy if they get him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I said,
y'all can't
get out, brother. Get out.
My fifth best quarterback is Lamar Jackson.
Get out.
Okay. The athleticism, yeah, he's amazing athleticism. He showed great poise at times. He showed the arm strength in that. But it's a lot of situations that I think he's falling back on, especially the past season. Clutch situations. Clutch situations is the main thing as quarterback. How will you in the clutch?
Got Houston on my back, cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel that.
Rosen the next Brady, Lamar the next Vic.
One of his worst games was against
Shout
Clemson.
out to Ferocious.
And Clemson, that defense was a shell of themselves last year. That wasn't last year's Clemson's defense. I don't know what happened between last year and now, but he was torched by Clemson defense. He didn't. Man, that was horrible.
Man,
His footwork. Y'all ignoring the footwork. That gives me problems in itself. If your footwork is not right, your action is not right. Your action not right. Give him 3 years on the line and the right head coach. If you give him a Doug Peterson type coach, an Andy Reid type coach, you give him a coach that knows how to develop the quarterback, yes, he can succeed. But as of right now, no. I'm just saying.
I think all them top quarterbacks trash. To be honest, I think it's gonna be some of those sleeper quarterbacks that's gonna have better careers in the long run.
I'm not gonna say the top quarterbacks are trash because I really do think Sam Darnold is a fucking franchise quarterback for sure, guaranteed. Put my name on it, kind of guaranteed.
Okay.
But
Bring up the
go ahead.
chrome.
Write me down, Honcho. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Unless he ends up a Brown.
the Brown clause.
And now the Browns gonna be lit.
No, okay. I will say this though: if the Browns take Darnold and they let him sit a year, oh, it's money. Darnold's franchise then.
Okay.
If they let him sit, yeah, I'd still put the guarantee on.
Okay, I got you.
So,
All right, since we're doing mark my words this. Josh Rosen will be the best quarterback.
oh, you killed
come
me!
out this draft.
You killed me!
I'm doing it right now. Mark my words. Josh Rosen will be the best quarterback.
Do you hate me? Do you hate me, Braylon?
No, I know.
It seems like you hate me.
No, Doug.
Hey, Phoenix, I got you. Phoenix, I
What's
got
it,
you.
Josh Rosen? So are we saying that at the end of this season, Josh Rosen will have the best stats this year, or is that what you're willing to put on? I mean, are y'all willing to put a crow bet on who will have a better season between Darnold and Rosen?
Yes. If Rosen goes to a team where he starts, he will be that franchise quarterback.
I have to say this. The only fucking way Rosen will have better numbers than Darnold in the NFL is if Darnold rides the bench. That's the only way.
I mean, you looking at the pro. I mean,
I used to know my back, cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel that.
Difference between arm talent and arm strength.
So
The difference between arm talent and arm strength.
they
Yeah,
said a
absolutely.
certain number of snaps of what those are going to do. He knows what those he's going to run. All that. And
Okay, let's take out Pro Day altogether. Okay. Darnold had by far the better college career. He looks more accurate than Rosen does.
Josh Rosen.
But look at what Darnold has been. Darnold was giving. He was getting one of the best athletes in college last year. Although he's going to be ass in the NFL. I'm talking about Dory Jackson. The best athletes in the college. But, I mean, other than his line, he was given all the weapons in the world, Darnold is. Rosen was dealing with a legit organization, whatever you want to say in college football it is. He was given what Houston has for everybody as a college.
All right, well, how about this? There's a chance Josh Rosen ends up with the Jets because they did just trade up, and I doubt they're trading up to 3 to not get a quarterback. So let's say Rosen ends up with the Jets. You still think he's going to be dominant?
I mean, not dominant, but they have the weapons there.
Oh, God.
Okay. Does anybody else want to jump in on the top 5 QB conversation? Let me see that.
Yes.
Okay. What you got? Let me spill your sauce. Splash on it.
Don't hurt my.
Okay. First, I'm a ease the Doug's mind because Darnold's going to be a Jet. Darnold's going to be the first quarterback taken. Is going to be the Jets. The Jets going to take Darnold.
Well,
but that doesn't make
it 3.
Yes, because Cleveland's taking Barkley at 1. Cleveland's not taking.
Okay, yeah,
no.
I could see it. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
Cleveland's taking Barkley at 1. Now, that doesn't mean that Sam Darnold's the best quarterback in the draft, though. Yeah, he's going to be the first quarterback taken. Rudolph, anybody?
Oh
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No.
I have jokes. No.
Personally, watch Rudolph in real life and live, and that nigga's trash.
I know.
I didn't know who off the red-nosed reindeer behind.
My favorite school is Texas Tech, and I didn't know who Rudolph was until like a month ago. And I actually watched him play against Oklahoma State. So that tells you how much I knew about Rudolph. But that's neither here nor there. But I think the best quarterback in the draft is Mayfield.
Oh my God!
I can respect that. I can respect that. Like
seriously, like seriously. Like if we talking about games, it's really out of Mayfield and Lamar Jackson, and I want to say Lamar Jackson, but I kind of give the slight edge. It's a slight edge to Mayfield. So it's Mayfield, Jackson. Sorry, Duck, but Rosen over Donald.
Oh God!
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Spitz.
Rosen over Donald. Rosen over Donald. And like I'll put Allen at 5, but I agree with the whole Ryan Mallett 2.0. I look at him and see Ryan Mallett.
Okay,
But he's gonna get. I look at him and see Ryan Mallett. I'm sorry, that's what I do. I look at him, I see Ryan Mallett. I'm not impressed by him. I was never impressed by Mallett.
I would have been fine if you had just stopped it. Mayfield 1, Lamar Jackson 2.
What is your issue with Rosen?
I don't fucking like his game. He was an average college quarterback. Average.
I think he's gonna be an average NFL quarterback. That's really I'm not impressed with this draft class. Period. Like I'm not impressed.
Okay, who would you compare him to as a pro? Who would you compare him to as a pro? I need to know. Rosen. What do you compare him to as a pro?
Flacco-ish?
I think that's too much. I really do.
Bowl, if he was on the right team.
This one says, question for Spitz. Says, so the Texans franchise tag Clowney next year instead of signing him to a long-term extension. So I'm guessing that should be should the Texans franchise tag Clowney for next year instead of signing him to a long-term extension.
You better fucking quit playing and pay.
Wait. Are they asking me, should they sign him to a long-term deal now, or should they just franchise him next year?
No, it's so this is what it looks at. This is what I'm saying. It says because it says so, but I'm implementing should, so I'm changing it up. It said question for Spitz: should the Texans franchise tag Clowney next year instead of signing him to a long-term extension?
No, sign to a long-term deal.
Why would you?
You said you want to be in Houston forever.
Yeah, sounds to see if that was a question. Whoever posted that question, they're probably thinking of him as an injury concern, or as because like he's not a stat demon. Like he doesn't have all these stats. Like he's yet to have double-digit sacks, but he's clearly the most skilled player on our defense right now. He's the best defensive player on that team, even if Watt is healthy. Clowney's the best player on that defense right now. So
is Tyron healthy? He's better than him.
If Tyron's healthy, is he better than Tyron?
Yeah.
I think part of Tyron's game going to depend on Clowney.
Yeah.
On that pass rush.
I think part of that is reason why that Tyron chose the Texans because he knows that front seven is serious and it's going to make his job a little bit easier.
A lot easier. Yeah, so. Because I think about he's playing safety, so he's the last line of defense. So he don't matter how great he is, like if he's not getting that rush up front, and people are getting wide open, you're gonna be putting him on the island by himself. And you're gonna be putting him like basically putting him there with one hand tied behind his back. Yeah, he's gonna need that. He's gonna need that pass rush in front of him. Mm-hmm. That's going to be dependent on Clowney because, like I said, the pass rush is going to start and end with Clowney and Merciless.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You sign if you get Clowney signed right now. Like they need to sign Clowney before. I think we're gonna hear something before the draft. To be honest, I really think probably like the week of or the week before the draft, we'll probably start hearing something a little bit more. But you gotta sign Clowney before summer starts. Like that's an absolute must. Okay.
Especially you didn't go after the big names. Yeah, that's an absolute must.
Okay.
Got
another question here. Well, not a question. Actually, it's a question myself. I'm glad that you mentioned that. You said that you see something happening very soon for Clowney. Do you think that whole thing the Texans did with we don't do deals during the season, which I thought was always some stupid fucking shit. Do you think that was a Rick Smith thing, or do you feel like the Texans will, if they don't manage to get Clowney signed before the season, that they'll do what it takes to get him signed during the season? Do you see that happening?
I think that was a Rick Smith deal, because I mean, with before Rick was here, when Charlie Castro was here, they signed people in season. I think that was more of a Rick Smith. He just wanted to have. I guess he wanted to draw a line in the sand type. Like, this is the way I do my business. I don't bend my rule for nobody else. Just like the whole, they don't negotiate people if they have more than 2 years outside of Andre and Watt. Those are the only two people who've got extensions with less than 2 years on their deal. Everybody else has to be like 1 year left, and then that's when they negotiate their contract.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Like,
Watt only had 1 year left. Nice try. Spitz. Bullshit. Fuck Clowney. Fuck Darnold.
No, Watt did have 2 years.
No, he didn't. 5th year's an option. That doesn't count. Nice try. Again, you were wrong.
That does count because they could have just
not.
spent
It's
the
an
option.
option. It's an option. Come on, use your brain.
But they could have used it though. So technically, okay, he wasn't due for free agency up into 2 years. If you want to reword the phrase, he wouldn't have tested the market for another 2 years because they were at least at the very least fit the option if they didn't get a deal done.
Fuck Darnold, fuck Rosen, fuck Spitz, fuck everybody in this damn place. I was messing with y'all, man. I missed y'all. I'm just messing with y'all, dog.
What's the motherfucking deal, Ray Ray?
What's going on, Ray Ray?
What's up, man?
Not
What's good,
Ray.
Ray?
Now Ray, man, I want to hear his top 5 QB. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah,
I need Ray. Don't please. Ray,
Yeah, okay. So my top 5 is none of them because they all fucking suck. Every damn one. Of them. They're all garbage.
Ray Ray done kicked the dough in the room, but he say fucking everything.
I have no faith in any QB in this draft. Period. End of the story. It's just that simple. I don't care.
They all trash.
G.I. Ray Ray.
Damn, he didn't even just want to at least name him. He didn't want to even name him. Shit.
Not worth my time.
Okay. So y'all saying that there was a Rick Smith thing with the whole contract deal during the season and then the 2 years out. So you feel like Brian Gaines going to be working his mojo. Somebody mentioned earlier another name that was out there. I don't know unless he's gotten signed without my knowledge. Kenny Vaccaro. Is there any interest in the Texans be taking a look at him?
No, they don't.
Actually,
I thought he stayed with the Saints.
Did he?
No.
no. My big question is why isn't he getting more play considering the season he just had? Man, it's a little weird actually.
Again, I think it's this draft. I think teams are like, okay, why are we spending big money on safeties when we can get a young guy in? I really do think that is a big thing teams are looking at because, I mean, we've had one safety we signed, maybe two. Burnett, and I really can't think of anyone outside of him.
I have a question.
2 safeties. Boom.
I have a question. I mean, I don't know if you got because I know earlier my phone was dipping in and out, so I didn't get a chance to hear a lot of stuff y'all were talking about earlier. I don't know if y'all touched on it before, but if you could, he's not a free agent, but if he would be made available, would anybody be open to bringing Swearinger back?
No, he tried to. No, man. His dog tried to kill the friend. One of the
Linebacker. Outside linebacker.
He tried to bite Clowney's
Like
ass.
he could have been on. He could have been on some Scotty shit and just like got out of it.
Yeah, you know how Scotty be wild. You know what I'm saying? Scotty is a vicious killer.
I mean, we don't know what Clowney was doing to the dog in the first place. Clowney could have been fucking with the dog.
On the
And
cool.
the dog was like, I don't give a fuck who you is. I'm gonna still bite the shit out your ass. I don't know.
I mean, being honest,
First pick my ass. You fuck with my own, I'm gonna bite your ass.
I mean, being honest, fit wise, I think he'd fit decently at worst. I mean, I think since he's been to other teams, he has gotten better in coverage, not giving up fucking 80-yard plays like he was when he was still on this team.
But if you play, but you can play him as strong though. Like that's. I mean, it was just.
Well, no,
I was thinking.
I was thinking under the assumption he'd play as strong because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he played strong when he was here.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, being honest, I wouldn't mind it.
I think they moved him because I know he did play strong, but it was some place he played free. I think they moved him around underway.
I mean, I just like the idea of having a fucking safety who can come and lay motherfuckers out, especially when you got a coverage guy like Tyron.
Okay. Got a couple of texts in on the sauce line here. Who says ask Ray Ray, Braden Smith or Isaiah Wynn?
That's easy.
Is that a question?
Is that a joke or who asked that question?
That's the question that came
Is
in
that Edman?
upon the sauce line. No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't.
That's. I take Isaiah Wynn and I don't look back. I take Isaiah Wynn over everyone except for Nelson. It's that simple.
Okay.
I just thought about something.
All right,
We can't take Ray Ray's ideas on QBs. He said Watson was a backup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
And I did my video on that. So like I don't know anything about QB. All I know is that just a gut feeling. It's a hunch at best. So.
No, I mean,
I did my crow on that shit. So.
Yeah.
I'm no expert on them, but QBs are my favorite to look at in the draft. They really are. Like I probably spend the most time looking at quarterbacks, regardless.
Yeah, no, I can't stand it. I've been talking about QBs every fucking draft season. I'm sick of looking at QBs, and I'm usually wrong. So,
Hey, but
that's what it is.
But to mention that it has to finally feel good that we finally look at a draft that we don't have to care about the QB in the draft.
Yeah,
I know. It's just everything else.
No, that does feel good. That does
Like,
feel good.
It feels weird. Like this is the first time I've looked at a draft that I didn't care who was the QBs in the draft. Like I could care less.
Well, I mean, we are looking at QB, but backups.
Yeah,
That's
it is a much different feeling when you have to. When you know that the shit is in place, you definitely ain't tripping. This says though, I got a question for Ray and Spitz. If Texans get Lamar Jackson, I'm not saying it will happen. If it did happen, what would be his reaction? What would his reaction be?
I would be okay with it. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. But hold on, let me preface that. It depends on where we get him and how we get him.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say it depends on how we get him. If we moving up to get him, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, me too.
If we get him in the third round, cool. I think he'll fit the system perfectly under Deshaun, backing up Deshaun Watson with the same skill sets, and maybe he balls out during the preseason, and maybe like 2 years from now we can use him as trade bait. I don't know.
Hey, no,
exactly. I agree.
That's something we don't talk about. I know we've talked about Lamar Jackson falling to us in the third, maybe. I doubt it'll happen, but maybe. Some fucking Patriot shit. Because look at what they did with Brissett and fucking Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Like I swear,
In the same season.
They have a farm system for quarterbacks. Because I swear to God, they take one like at least every other year, at least.
But the farm system doesn't really work out. I mean, you got Castle and Mallet.
But the thing is, I'm glad you said that, because you know what the Patriots do? The Patriots know that the NFL is high on the NFL is high on that Patriots powder, because anything the Patriots touch, it's got to have some of that magic Super Bowl juice on it. You see how crazy everybody's going for Vrabel, and Vrabel ain't proved shit other than that he's a damn good position coach. We go crazy over Patriots fallouts all the time. You see, Ryan almost had a job, but he did what he did, and fucking not Ryan. I'm sorry, McDaniels. And then fucking what am I thinking wrong? And Patricia. Then like I say, just because they're affiliated with the Patriots, that people go crazy over it. And so what I think the Patriots do is they have a fooly Wayne farm system. See, they fooling everybody with that shit. They put people in there and say, he's been here a year or two behind Tom Brady. Of course, he's picked it up. Of course, he knows some stuff. It's Tom Brady's backup. So Brady put the sauce on him, so he's got the Brady sauce and he can do it. And so people start believing the hype behind these guys because they sat behind Brady, because everybody wants to make that comparison of Aaron Rodgers. Well, he sat behind Favre. They say Favre didn't even want to fuck with Aaron Rodgers, dog. Like, didn't even really want to help him out to do something. So what does that really fucking mean? But I think that people buy that hype, and then once they get value for these other players, because I'm not saying that they're all bad. Garoppolo's solid. Brissett is all right. But that people feel like because they played behind Brady or they sat behind Brady for a year or two, that these guys have this future Bradiness in them, and that they're going to get value. Yeah, exactly.
But see, like the difference with the Brady thing is not Brady, but Rodgers. Rodgers was a highly touted prospect coming into the draft. Yeah. People were tripping because they fell all the way to 24. Like, I don't know why he fell. Yeah, we were all wondering how he should he legitimately like, and this is not like 2020 hindsight after seeing him win Super Bowl, him being MVP. People really thought he was going to be the first overall draft pick in that draft over Alex Smith. So, like for him, like to use that as a I guess a lateral line is crazy. It's ludicrous. Everybody else, all these other quarterbacks that the Patriots have, like Castle didn't even start a game at UCLA. I mean at UCLA
USC.
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 Yeah, USC. Like he was behind Sanchez and Matt Leinart. Like he didn't start no games out there. But yet he has one good season when Brady goes down and the Chiefs give him all their money. And then you got when you talk about coaches, you got Matt Patricia, you got McDaniels, you got Charlie Weiss, you got Eric Mangini. Bill O'Brien is probably the best former Patriot coach. He has the most success out of any former Patriot coach.
If we're talking about just head coach, yeah, probably. But if we're talking
I'm talking about from being a coach under
Belichick.
I can't think
Belichick.
Belichick. Thank you. Under Belichick and going on somewhere else, Bill O'Brien has the most success. And as you ask plenty of Texan fans, we ain't pretty much sold on him. I think he's okay. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but whatever. There's a lot of people want to get him out here with pitchforks. It's all good, but like you say, like they sprinkle that Patriot juice and dust on everybody, and everybody goes crazy. I don't get it.
My big thing with that QB stuff, I think what they're doing is incredibly smart with the trading away of QBs.
Yeah,
because
I mean, I don't knock them for it. They doing their job. Like, I knock the rest, the 31 other teams to get fooled by this shit.
The rest of the league, no. Let's call it what it is. They fucking dick riders, bro. Like they see the Patriots dominating, and they're like, "Well, shit, we want what they got. Let's take some of their guys and get the same thing." No, it don't work like that.
Not to mention that it's a quarterback driven.
I agree. I think Matt Patricia is going to be trash.
When you were saying best coach, I was thinking you were talking in terms of including just offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. I didn't know if you were including that as coaches or if you were talking just strictly head coaches.
Yeah, I'm talking about a guy that goes from being a Patriots coach, like offensive defensive coordinator, and goes and get a head coaching job because they all fell flat on their face.
Right.
All of them.
I mean, the only one that you could even say that has had success over OB, or I should say comparable to OB, is Cornell, and Cornell didn't do that great with Cleveland. So I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say if we're talking about what I was saying, coordinators too, because Cornell as a defensive coordinator has had more success than O'Brien has as a head coach.
Yeah, but I'm talking about strictly head coaching.
Okay.
I'm talking about strictly head coaching.
Actually, go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, I was just saying just strictly head coaching. Because what has anybody else even won a division?
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. So I got a question for Rising Duck. With all the since you're on the Darnold train and I'm just wanting to know, do previous pro quarterbacks that's come out of USC, didn't that the USC call it kind of curse kind of come into play here? I mean, Leinart, Sanchez, Palmer. I mean, the list goes on and on. Barkley.
I don't buy into that. I really don't. I really do look at it as a case by case kind of thing. I mean,
okay, fair enough.
I mean, what I've seen.
I kind of had that question too.
What I've seen from Darnold, I feel confident enough in saying I think he's going to be a franchise quarterback at the next level. Now, back when Sanchez came out, I didn't buy into that at all. I really didn't. I thought
let me ask you this. What team would you feel comfortable with him landing on to actually say that
Darnold?
he could be that next franchise guy that takes that team to that next level like every year that he's there.
Okay, I think this goes for any quarterback coming out of the draft. I think it depends on coaching, honestly. But I think that's why I was so iffy to say he'd be a franchise guy with Cleveland, because Hugh Jackson is complete and utter trash.
Yeah, he's
he's horrible.
His best situation would be New York to go to the Giants.
The Giants? Oh, I would fucking love him on the Giants. Because I mean, the Giants have a history of winning. He actually would have fucking weapons. Let's say this: Odell Beckham stays on the Giants. All that fucking drug, cocaine shit was bullshit, and it comes out and he's cleared, right? Odell Beckham and Evan Ingram, I'd fucking look at that. I would love watching that.
Don't sleep on Odell and the coke. That might be why he be wide up and get all them touches.
look, he breaking down the field. He high on his speed. Everything else is slow motion. That's how he twisting and contorting and getting all. That's why he over there whooping on the net and shit. Yeah. Motherfucker beating up the net. He tripping off that powder, man. What the fuck you say? What? Huh? Ain't nobody else around here. It's just you and me, net. What the fuck?
At Matt's potential, I think Darnold can be like Matthew Stafford. At Matt's potential.
Okay.
Huh?
At Matt's potential.
Max?
At Max.
Okay.
Max
Hey,
Kelly?
I know I didn't have Allen in my top 5 for quarterbacks. I do think he has one of the highest ceilings, though.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think he has the arm talent. I just don't think he can put it together.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys, these are where these QBs are gonna go. Y'all can keep this recording, so y'all can like give me the crow, I guess, after the draft if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I think I think the Jets gonna take Darnold at 3. I think at 4, Cleveland's gonna trade to Buffalo and get that 12th and the 22nd pick. And then Buffalo, they're going to take Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
I think Denver at 5 is going to take Allen.
Ooh.
And then I think at the 22nd pick, I think that's Cleveland's going to take Lamar Jackson.
Mm.
That's how I feel.
Mm. That's very interesting, considering who they just did pick up.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that.
I mean, I can understand that. Pick up Tyrod Taylor. That way Lamar Jackson can learn behind the quarterback with similar
and he doesn't have to play this year.
I can understand that.
And they can go ahead and install that offense now. They don't have to be like us and wait till week 3 to install the offense to fit your quarterback. They can do that with Tyrod.
Right.
Let Tyrod run that offense for this year. Then next year, Lamar Jackson come out and be the starter, and you just take Tyrod and have him as your backup.
Well, Tyrod's got 1 year left, so he'd be gone the next year.
I'm pretty sure they'll sign him because ain't nobody really going to be trying to get Tyrod as a starter. I mean, unless he just balls out at Cleveland.
Okay.
I mean, damn, I'm gonna stop saying that shit. But
now, with how it's ordered, I don't see. That's my only thing. I don't know if Cleveland waits to get a quarterback.
And see, that's the issue because Cleveland could do so much just with the number 1 pick. They could take Barkley at number 1. They could take They could take Darnold at number 1. Shit, they could take the number 1 pick and trade that. Like Cleveland can do so many things with that first pick in the draft.
I think they need to take Barkley number 1, and then they leave those options open because then you still got a list of quarterbacks. You still have you'll be picking again and have an option at quarterback. And if you like what's in the draft, but.
Only reason I'm hesitant to have them taking Barkley 1 is because I think Cleveland might be okay with Hyde and Duke Johnson because I think they look at it like, okay, Carlos Hyde is an upgrade over Isaiah Crowell, so we did just pay him a good bit of money, so why would we turn around, pay this guy money, and then go again and take a running back first? That's why I'm thinking they go quarterback with that first.
I mean, knowing Hugh Jackson might wait until the first pick of the second round and get Luke Falk. I'm just saying that because this is how bad he is.
We all need to think about this, people. We all talking about the same franchise that traded away the pick that turned to Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson.
Which is another reason why I think they don't pass it up. Think about that. They got crucified for that. You think they didn't get any flack for that?
But it's a new GM.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Though. It's a different GM, so he may not do that.
Yeah.
But see, also because of what they've done so far this free agency class, I don't think if they don't take a pick, if they don't take quarterback number one, I don't think they'll be as crucified as it was with the Deshaun pick and with the Carson Wentz pick.
I just really hope Cleveland isn't in the fucking win now mentality.
They might be shit.
Did you say? I mean, as long as Hugh Jackson's your head coach, you're not winning anything.
But see, I'm like Ray on the point, like, because I'm not trusting none of these quarterbacks, especially with the first pick. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Yeah.
This is the draft. This is really, and the crazy thing about it is this might be the draft that have 5 quarterbacks taken in the first 7 picks.
Which is scary to think of.
You can make a legitimate case that quarterback go 1, 2, 3, Barkley at 4, quarterback 5, quarterback 7. This is like this draft in the think that Watson last year goes 12. That's just
that's ridiculous. But I think that kind of changed swayed the opinions on people, kind of the way things panned out last year. They back on their QB hype. Got a text on the sauce line says, "This is Sean for the panel. Is there one player in this draft that you would package picks to go back into the second round to get if he's available?" So what we'll do is we'll get back in order and give everybody a chance on that one, and I'll add you to the end of the rotation, Ray. It's
about this first.
Yeah, well,
in this situation, are we just saying like, okay, any prospect you want from the draft falls into the second? Is it that kind of situation, or are we talking about like realistically? Because there are a lot of names in the first.
Let's just say guys who are kind of projected to either go late first or in the second round, because it's not really saying that anybody falls. It's just saying is there one player in the draft that you would package picks to go back into the second to get. So I'm just assuming let's go with like a second round level talent.
Okay. I'm about to say Quentin fucking Nelson would be who I named.
All right, so we start first off with Darren Davis. You still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think he. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Stop that shit, Phoenix. You about to put your foot in your mouth.
I said, Darren, I'm gonna have to check
I saw your stuff muted earlier. That's my fault.
So, Darren,
is
there a player that you'd be willing to package picks to go into the second round to get?
No. As right now, I mean, I'm not trying to trade up to get into the second round. I mean, actually, no. I take that back. If Josh Jackson is there, is how cornerback help for the future, I would consider it.
Okay. It would be considered by Darren. Phoenix, if there was some talent in the second round, or if there is a second round talent that you would have interest in, would you be willing to package picks to go get it? And who would it be?
Well, if there's a player who fell into the second that I think would fit, yeah, there'd be 2 of them. Who are those players? Isaiah Wynn and McGlinchey.
Damn it.
Like, again, I'm all in on fucking offensive line. Because I swear to fucking God, if Henderson is starting, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Hey, and he going to be a Pro Bowler.
What if that boy balling? Yeah,
I'd rather have Kendall Lamb.
Oh, stop. That dude, Lamb chop, Doug. Oh, man. That's awful. Braylon. Well, you're no longer you're Braylon now. You no longer get to be Bray now that Ray is here. So you have to be Braylon now. Braylon, hello Braylon.
Just make sure you leave your bike punk.
Darren Devo. Braylon, is there a player in the second round, or would you be willing to package picks to move up into the second round to add some talent to the Texans roster?
There are two, and I'm going on the other side of the football. I'm going defense. If Jair Alexander and Lorenzo Carter somehow falls, because they've been going early, they are now first round draft picks. If they fall mid-second, I'm trading up to get those two.
Okay. Spitz, the definition of throwed. How would you operate if you had an option of packaging together some picks to move into the second round? Would you utilize that option if you were the Texans GM?
If they fell to the right spot in the second round, like I said, I guess two people. It's McGlinchey and Lorenzo. If one of those two fell to a decent spot in the second round, you felt comfortable that you could move up, that you could use, your future second round picks of next year. You have two next year. You can take one of those and possibly a third pick and able to move up into the second round to get either McGlinchey or Lorenzo. I'm cool with that.
Okay. Wise, second round.
But I prefer, if I had a choice, I prefer McGlinchey though.
Okay. I'm talking McGlinchey is the preference.
So I have two players. I have one on offense and I have one on defense. For defense, I would like to see Sam Hubbard, the defensive end from Ohio State. I think we need another edge rusher, to be honest. Okay. And then for offense, I would like to look at Calvin Ridley, the receiver from Alabama. We need a cold slot receiver. We need somebody that can make plays. So those are the two players I would trade up for.
Okay. All right. Ray, how you doing this evening?
I'm good.
All right. So we got a deal on the table. Team wants to offer us a second round pick to package a couple of our picks together, and we throw something together for them. Would you take that offer, and if so, who would you pursue?
I will say four people. Four people that I would move up. And one of them's going to shock you, but I keep watching this guy, and he just keeps moving up and up the boards. As a matter of fact, someone said in the chat, Colton Miller, left tackle from UCLA. I would definitely move up and take a stab at him. That's only if McGlinchey's off the board, but we won't go into that scenario. But Miller, Colton Miller, Isaiah Wynn, Carter, and Jackson would be, if any of those four fall at the right spot and we're not giving up too much, like say our back end thirds or our back end third plus maybe a fourth and a sixth or something, just something that if it's there, yeah, take it. I mean, it would be hard for me to sit still as a GM with someone like that. Wynn is injured, so all right, I'm going to answer your soul of Pimp C or whatever the hell your name is. Wynn is injured, but it was a labrum injury, and he will be ready by OTAs. So that would be the reason he would even drop to the second. Other than that, he's a first-round talent.
And I don't mean to jump in, but yeah, he was also talking about Orlando Brown in there. So I don't really.
Jesus Christ! All right, I came in on the back end of this Orlando Brown shit. Let me go and set the record straight. Orlando Brown is a fucking chump. Orlando Brown is one of the worst tackles in this fucking draft period. Orlando Brown. No, I'm not going to stop, Rocky. Get your hand out my face. I'm not going to stop. Orlando Brown is trash. Like, he's suck ass. He's that trashy. That guy sucks. I would not touch him with a 10-foot fucking pole.
I think he works than suck ass.
Okay. This one,
we gonna go get Orlando Brown and Sula suck ass, and they gonna all go visit Ray at the house tonight.
Let him.
We gonna set him up for Ray birthday.
All I gotta do is run. Even my big ass could run around Orlando Brown and Sula suck ass, so it ain't no problem.
This will say we got a text on the sauce line that says, "Ask Ray, Levi Wallace or Tavares Jackson."
Tavares.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Tavares Jackson.
Says a question for the round table. Actually, two questions. What's the most frustrating moment you have had being a Texans fan? And Not going to answer. Actually, not going to answer that second question because that's just not going to happen. But the other question says, question for the roundtable: should the Texans move their training camp to Houston or keep it in West Virginia? The other one was, what's the most frustrating moment you've had being a Texans fan?
Who we starting with?
Starting with Ray.
Damn, man, there's so many to choose from.
I think I know one of Ray's.
My God, man, put me on spot, dude. That's rough, man. Oh my God, there's so many going through my head, dude. It's like, okay, I would say one of my most frustrating times as a Texans fan was when we re-signed Derek Newton to an extension. That just destroyed me. That hurt me so bad, and it's been one of the worst re-signings we've done yet. You guys, I mean, just that I would have to put that one right up there at the top.
Okay.
That one was rough.
All right. We got next in line. Wise. Most frustrating moment as a Texans fan.
That's hard. Drafting Suafilo over Derek Carr. I mean, we needed a quarterback that year, and we chose Suafilo. Sua trash slow. This sorry ass. He always getting juked. He always getting beat. He played defensive line basically. But yeah, that has to be one of the worst.
Okay. The definition of throws, Senior Spitz. Worst moment as a Texans fan.
All right, I have two. The first one, yeah. And the reason why I can't decipher for the two is because one, I feel is the worst. To me, is the worst moment in Texan. To me, is the worst moment in Texan history. In 2006, when Vince Young played his first game at that time, Reliance Stadium, and scored that touchdown in overtime. Yeah. And it's not the point that he scored the touchdown, is that he ran into the back of the end zone and said, "This is my house." And you had Texan fans celebrating with him at that moment, knowing your team just lost.
Yeah.
That had to be the lowest moment. But
that's tough.
I tie that with in 2012, I think it was Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve, when we played Minnesota at home. That was the year that AP ran for 2,000 yards. Our defense held him to only 89 yards. And yet we couldn't get more than 12 points at home. And if you win that game, you guarantee home field advantage for the first time in franchise history.
Man.
And lose two more, and then you're the third seed and you lose to New England in Foxborough in the divisional round. So those are my two worst moments.
I agree. Braylon, what you got? Worst moment as a Texans fan?
Since Spencer did two, I'm going to go with two.
Well, hell, I feel cheated.
Feel better, Ray. I'm only doing one.
What you got, Braylon?
So the worst thing is not just one moment; it's the course over one season. Randy Bullock.
Oh man,
he kicked us out of so many games.
The fat kicker.
Fat Randy.
Oh my god! And
Gronkowski was a
should have gotten kicked out from buffet.
And also, watching the Texans trade up to get a wide receiver that was a quarterback in college that only played 1 year at wide receiver and had one great play.
Oh.
I understand that Braxton Miller had so much upside, but he's not a third-round player. Oh, my God.
We traded up to get Braylon?
Yep.
Braxton Miller.
We traded up. I didn't know we traded up to get Braxton.
We traded up to get Braxton Miller.
We traded up 3 years in a row to get Lewis Nix was one trade up, Strong, and then Miller, if I remember correctly.
Terrible. I remember trading up Nix and
Strong. That's awful. That's an awful situation. I didn't realize that we did trade up for that. Phoenix.
Yeah, Rick Smith's a great fucking GM.
I know how I feel about Rick. Roundabout Rick. Phoenix, what you got? Worst moment as a Texans fan?
Having to watch us pick Matt Schaub over Peyton Manning.
Oh.
Yeah,
that is one.
That would be my number 2.
I can't I can't fucking do it. Like, I get we thought Schaub would be good, but that's Peyton fucking Manning. You're like Peyton Manning to Andre Johnson. Like, oh.
Yeah,
I mean, but you didn't know about the neck, though.
I would
have fucking chanced it.
Yeah,
I would have 100% chanced it.
Yeah, but if you had an Ed Reed situation, we'd be killing Rick for doing that. Goes both ways.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight is 20/20. But
I'm looking at it as a situation. Peyton Manning said,
"Oh, but I would have did it though. I was mad that they didn't do it. I'm just playing the advocate part. Like I just can't. Like, he said he wanted to be a Texan. You could have said, "Fuck it, let's give him some kind of." His wife was in Houston looking at schools for their kids,
and they picked Matt fucking Schaub over him.
Rick Smith had the contract in hand, and fucking Kubiak said, "No, I'm going with Schaub."
That was a Kubiak decision.
That is by far my number 1.
And I think, and for people who don't like Rick Smith, I think that's one of the reasons why Rick Smith never lost his job, is because I think he wanted Peyton, and that he got outruled by Kubiak. And then I think the following year, I don't think he wanted Ed Reed. I think that was a Bob McNair decision. Remember, Bob McNair took his private jet to go pick up Ed Reed.
Yeah, that's right. He flew his ass in style. I remember that.
Yeah. So
I remember that.
And those could be those two decisions probably set your franchise back.
I want to shout out whoever broke into Ed Reed's car and stole the Texans' money back.
They a real MVP.
Yeah, that's the real MVP. All right, Darren, man, what you got, man? Worst moment for you as a Texans fan? Is Darren still with us?
Well, I got 2 of them. The first one is the fucking Hail Mary. The fucking Hail Mary that ended up getting tipped into old boy hands from the
Glover Quinn, baby.
Glover Quinn. That was Glover Quinn.
Yep.
Exactly, Glover Quinn. Like that moment, like I'm just sitting back looking like, man, we got this game.
Yep.
Playing in a prevent defense. I'm pretty sure 99% of the Texans fans just knew we had that game won. He throws it up. Instead of just tipping it to your player, tipping it forward, he tips it upwards and...
That's that Tennessee tip drill.
Oh, man. Like... and to the fact that it happened with Jacksonville, that was even more deflating. Now, my second, the Sage Copter fumble.
Oh,
yeah. The Rosencopter?
Yeah, man.
No, the Sage Copter. No.
that was
again. That was it was funny as fuck. Yes, it was. If memes was out back then, I think the Sage completely outclassed butt fumble by far. But again, that was a game where we was, and of course, that game where Peyton ended up throwing it in the back of the end zone to Reggie Wayne to win the game. But that Sage Copter fumble was...
We had the lead at that time, didn't we?
Happened. Yeah, we had the lead. And
yeah.
was dropped instead of sliding. I don't know why, but Sage... And I'm watching the game, and I kid you not, this was on some Madden shit. I'm like, just slide, just go down. Instead, he goes airborne. Soon as he left
goes
his
airborne.
Exactly. As soon as he left his seat, I was doing the Kevin Hart. Oh no! Oh no! 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 What are you doing?
Blowouts
Why?
versus
No!
Miami
Oh my
was a
God!
shame.
No!
Appreciate the
He's
love,
getting
Jay
hit 3
Dizzy.
times. Oh my God! No! Fumble! Oh my God! Oh my! Oh, I was fucking hurt. Man. If I wasn't scared, my mama wasn't gonna buy me another TV and beat my ass. I'd have punched my TV.
TV would have punched you back.
See, actually, someone in the chat just put something in there that kind of just hurt me too. So my number 2 would be the opening kick of the playoff game against the KC, and Hill takes it 106 back to the yard. Yeah, that one will sting forever.
That game was over as soon as it started.
Being 100% honest, I honestly thought Rays would be us picking Clowney over Matt.
No. I mean, I did my curl on it, and he's turned out to be a decent player. And I mean, but again, if we had to go back, I'd rather have Mac than Clowney. This is my opinion.
Hey.
I disagree on that.
Darren helped me remind us of a play that happened that's just as bad as that Sage copter, man. When Schaub decided to throw the ball up to Richard Sherman's side.
Oh God, I know what you're talking about.
That ended 2013. That's what ended the season.
Yep.
We was winning. We was up by 7 with like 2 minutes to go.
We had him dead to rights. Like
that should have been game. If he just like gets sacked right there, you still win that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just don't throw the interception and you're fine.
Yeah.
Letterman jacket was pretty embarrassing too. Good one, Sean.
Okay, yeah.
What's crazy about that?
Actually, that was T. York. My bad.
No.
That whole game he was driving. He was actually getting praise from the Texans fans, and just like Spitz says, and he hopes will happen with Blake Bortles. Clock struck midnight, and Schaub turned into a pumpkin. Pick 6.
What's embarrassing to me is that we keep losing to backup Patriot quarterbacks like J.T. Barrett, like Jimmy G. That's embarrassing.
Brissett.
Yeah, Brissett. I mean, Brissett, my bad.
You're a racist. You're saying all Barretts and Brissett's look alike. Oh, God. Yeah. I got one from Ferocious says, and this is actually something entertaining because I could see Cleveland doing something like this because they are the Cleveland Browns. Ferocious texts in on the sauce line and says, with Cleveland passing up on Deshaun last season, could you see them taking Lamar number 1 overall?
No.
Fuck no.
No. There's no chance.
Crucified if they did that.
Yeah, there'd be no chance. My scenario is more likely that they'll move back to get Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I think they'll do it. That's the reason why. That's one of the reasons why.
True.
That's the reason why that's one of the reasons why I think that because they know they can get Lamar Jackson in a later draft. I mean, later on in the draft. I think that's one of the reasons why they went after and got Tyrod to have their bridge, and you can rotate that same exact offense from Tyrod to Lamar Jackson.
Well, my thing with that is I don't think he's gonna fall. Like you said, we were talking about this earlier. There could be 5 quarterbacks that go top 10.
Yeah,
there could be.
It's not. Lamar Jackson is going to be the last quarterback taken. Out of that scenario, he will be the last one taken.
Oh, I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying, there are too many quarterback needy teams, and when you say there are potentially 5 franchise guys, yeah, somebody's going to make a move for one of these guys.
Yeah,
and I do
see
Go ahead.
All I didn't mean to cut you off, but all it takes is that people start like a couple of quarterbacks get taken that shouldn't even get taken, or somebody trades up that you weren't expecting for people to start flying off the shelves, and the other team turn to a panic mode, and everybody will go into some type of frenzy, and that's how you get some of these pass rushers to fall.
Like I mean, being honest, that was probably what happened with us and Watson.
Yeah, when Mahomes got taken off the board, I guarantee that was panic mode.
No one,
I guarantee you
for a fact they knew Kansas City was going to move up to take a quarterback.
Yeah, when I seen Kansas City trade up, my heart dropped because I thought they was taking Watson.
Me too.
Like no,
I did
all bullshit
too,
aside, I swear I thought they was taking Watson, and when they said once I heard Pat,
I knew they.
Once I heard that P syllable,
hey,
it's like that. It's like in the movies when at the end credits when that light shining on them and you hear that little singing in the background. I had one of those moments. I was like, yes.
Hey, no, I liked Patty Mahomes. If we had stayed at 25, I was hoping we would have taken him because I didn't think Watson was
trash.
I was waiting for it.
Oh, man, don't do it.
Well, you know your fire spits up, man. You start talking
it's
about
gonna pull up on you, man. Don't do that.
Hey,
don't talk about the Patsy.
Oh,
boy, you better watch your mouth talking about Patrick Mahomes.
No,
you better watch your mouth.
No,
I'm telling you, boy, Kansas City about to be lit. See, I had the opposite. See, when I seen Kansas City moved up, I knew they were taking Patrick Mahomes. I was so mad. Oh, I was so angry. I was so mad.
I thought it was the opposite. I looked up at Kansas City moving. I'm like, okay, they got a kind of mobile guy with Alex Smith. They'll probably try to take Deshaun Watson since he was the most established college quarterback. Groom him to take over for Smith.
I knew it was Patrick Mahomes because of Andy Reid and his connection to Favre. Because y'all sleeping on Pat. Because
Mahomes
no, I was
on NFL Network on the accuracy thing. So I want to see this man play in the game.
He did play in the game.
He did play in the game.
It was the last game of the season.
But it was against
for no playoffs.
I mean,
okay. I get it was the last game of the regular season, but he played with the fucking backup team and looked pretty good.
He lit them up.
Team.
What?
That's the backup team.
No, he was playing with his backups.
Yeah, they didn't have their
starters.
He had no starters out there. And he was playing against a starting defense. Like he was playing with his backups.
Denver had their starters in. At least offensively.
Yeah. Nah. Watch. Watch that boy. Right here, you heard that he gonna throw for 4,500 yards. I guarantee.
Hey, I was one of the only people because I wasn't really active in the sauce when that draft was happening. I was one of the only people I knew who was actively defending Patrick Mahomes because everybody was crucifying. Oh, he's a Texas Tech guy.
That's bullshit.
No,
that's bullshit.
Like, don't get me twisted. Do not get me twisted.
He
I would 100% take Deshaun Watson over him again, but I'm saying Patrick Mahomes ain't no scrub.
He's damn so not.
Like, look at his college tape.
So
and I nothing indicated scrub.
Okay, so I see Sean asking, what does the panel think it would take to trade for Patrick Peterson out of Arizona?
A lot.
Yeah,
he's
a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Targeted corner last year. That is going to be extremely difficult to get, especially because they have a cap hit with trading him or releasing him.
Hey, can I say this though, Doug? I mean, D-Hop, was killing that man though.
D-Hop killed everybody.
Yeah.
He killed everybody. Like, literally, all the top corners he killed.
He ended Reeves' career.
He really did.
He did.
Okay, we got a lot of text on the South line that
I won't play no more.
Says, I doubt Browns will pass up on Darnold for the first or Josh Allen. They have one too many times where they pass up on a QB and pick off what's left only to have it bite them in the ass. What are y'all's thoughts on Baker Mayfield overall as a QB, another Johnny Football or a possible franchise QB, and why? So we'll start in order. Well, we ended with Darren last time, didn't we? So I think we're starting back at Darren and going back down. All right, so starting with you, Darren. Baker Mayfield, how do you feel about him overall? Is he Johnny Football or is he the next franchise QB in the NFL?
Durin.
Hello. All right, Phoenix. So, we're talking about Baker Mayfield. How do you feel? Do you feel like he is a franchise QB, or do you feel like he's going to be another Johnny Manziel?
All right. I said it earlier. I think he's a fucking dickhead. I really do. Now, that being said, I don't know if I can give him the same thing Johnny Football. Just because Johnny Football, his stuff was worse. Like, I remember hearing stuff about him fucking doing drugs and shit in college. I didn't hear that about Mayfield. I heard about him getting drunk, but never drugs. Now, I think if he goes to a place where it's like a big city, no, I think he's gonna flop out like Manziel. Just because in those big city kind of places, it's not that hard for trouble to find you, you know? Mm-hmm. Then, but if he goes to a place like fucking, like somewhere where there's not a lot to do and he just focuses on football, yeah, he can be a franchise quarterback. Because when it comes to just playing his on-field stuff, I have him comparable to, I look at him as a slower Russell Wilson.
Okay.
With the fucking dickhead off the field bullshit, I compare him to Manziel. So it's really about what kind of situation he's put into.
Okay. Braylon, how do you feel about Baker Mayfield, franchise QB or Johnny Football 2.0?
Once again, if he goes to I must agree with Duck on this. If he goes to the right city, if he don't go to Colorado, I'm just saying that right away. He gonna be high every game.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we get him on the cush then.
But if he goes to if he goes to Arizona, I can see him succeeding in Arizona easily. On the field, he's nowhere near. He's nowhere near Manziel on the field. He's nowhere near. Manziel, after the first read, will legit throw the ball up and pray that Mike Evans will catch him.
God. You're redeeming yourself from the Rosen shit, Braylon.
I mean, Mayfield will actually take
he's not.
Go through his most of the time, his first and second read is wide open. That's just the way old dude had the offense set up in Oklahoma. But at times, he knew what to do. He knew what to do with the ball at all the times. He wasn't, throwing Hail Marys. Oh, what a beautiful pass. No, none of that. I mean, his passes were beautiful deep, but it wasn't that jumping into the left, being right-handed, going 50 yards down the field. No, off the field, he is Manziel. Off the field, he's Manziel, minus the drug.
Okay.
And before next person gets into theirs, I do want to add something after everyone's gone.
All right. Okay. The next person in line is Spitz. How do you feel? Johnny 2.0 or the first Baker Mayfield?
I mean, I don't think to be honest, I don't see. I know why people want to draw the comparison, but he's not John Manziel at all. And the reason why I'm gonna say he's not Johnny Manziel. See, Johnny was a star, as far as Johnny's problem, well, besides the drinking and the drugs, was that he had this star mentality that everybody gravitates to him anytime he does. Baker Mayfield is a football player. He's not a star. Like nobody really gives a fuck about Mayfield. Outside of football. Like Manziel ain't played football in 3 years and people still talking about Johnny Manziel. That ain't gonna happen with Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield ain't playing football, anybody care about Mayfield. Okay. So in the whole I don't worry about him off the field. My word, he has the issue, like I said, but I think he fits Jacksonville's personality. He just is a perfect fit. How Jacksonville and Ramsey is, I can just completely see him as a Jacksonville Jaguar. He's an asshole. Like that I agree with. He's an asshole, but he's not off the field just crazy and wild.
I love that so much. You're singing his praises, and then yeah, he's a dick, but
Hey man,
yeah, he an asshole. I mean, I seen his very first game play. I remember he came from Texas Tech. Like I seen his the very first snap he ever took in college football. Like he's an ass. He's a complete another ass, and he's a jerk. But he's not like off the field. I mean, shit, Aaron Rodgers is a jerk off the field. His own brother won't even talk to him. So I mean, like him being a jerk ain't got really nothing to do with him doing nothing on the field. I don't know if he's a franchise quarterback, because like me, like I agree with Ray. I'm not trusting none of these quarterbacks really, but if you put him in the right situation, the right team around him, I think he'd be all right.
Okay. All right. Wise, how you feel about the Baker Mayfield situation?
I'm just gonna give a Matt's potential. Matt's potential. I think he's gonna be Jay Cutler.
Oh, damn,
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Okay. I can see that. Ray, how do you feel about Baker Mayfield? You know, we've addressed the as a whole your feeling on the draft, but Baker Mayfield personally, how do you see him turning out?
Next question.
All right.
Was that everybody?
I do believe so. Yes, sir, Mr. Duck Scott. You said there was something that you wanted to speak on after everybody had a chance.
Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to add to this. Now, I don't really look at it the same way, but I don't fucking get why people aren't crucifying Mayfield's game. Because everyone wanted to crucify me and Spitz Boy, Patrick Mahomes, for coming from Texas Tech, right?
Yeah.
He played for Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And going to Oklahoma, they run a Lincoln Riley offense. And that's basically the fucking Texas Tech scheme, the air raid, just running the ball more.
I'm gonna give you that. And that's one of the things I said about Patrick Mahomes last year. If Patrick Mahomes did not play with them double T's on his helmet, they would have been talking about him being the first overall pick. I guarantee you. If he went to any other school, it's the perception.
Yeah.
It's Oklahoma has that clout. They have the prestige of Oklahoma being Oklahoma, because the system that Patrick Mahomes ran is not the same system that B.J. Simmons and Cliff Kingsbury. It's not the same Mike Lee system. It's similar. It has assets of that system in it, but it's not the same system. And Baker Mayfield, if Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes was on the same team, because like when that's one of the reasons why Baker Mayfield had to go to Oklahoma, because they didn't give him a scholarship because we recruited Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a way better athlete and a way better quarterback than Baker Mayfield, and y'all gonna see that when my boy Pat run Kansas City and Baker do whatever team he go to, Buffalo, Denver, wherever he go, and y'all see what kind of bus he becomes.
You gonna eat crow on that?
I'm not gonna say he's gonna be better than Watson or nothing.
Yeah,
but I am damn sure willing to put crow on it that Mahomes will be a good QB in the NFL.
Okay.
I've already said that.
Top 10. That's a good QB. Top 10.
Top 10.
Is he gonna be a top 10? Is he gonna be a top 10 QB in the league?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
I can.
I'll put that. Yes.
I'm not going to say top 10 just because I think there's a crop that is going to be competing for that, but I'll definitely say top 13 for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it'll be top 10 this year, but I'm like, if you talking about when in the
span of career, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like when he's in the middle of his career, he's going to be considered as one of the top 10 QBs that's playing at that time.
The worst I see him being, the absolute worst I see him being, Matthew Stafford. That's the worst.
Okay, I'll put it like this. I give you this, and I'll eat crow. I guarantee you he wins at least one league MVP.
Ooh, nah.
One league MVP. I'll put that on there.
Y'all need to pass.
I'm not a Texas Tech fan, so it's not homerism for me. So I can agree with that.
Okay.
All right, can I say something? All
right, what you got?
I don't see Pat Mahomes being a top 10 quarterback because of the quarterbacks that's still going to be there at Pat Mahomes' prime. Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz. I'm saying if Andrew Luck is healthy like they say he is, he's gonna be top 5. Derek Carr, and the list goes on and on. And who's ever going to come in the league, you never know. I mean,
I'm waiting on this because you've yet to give me 10 names to put in front of his. You only gave me 4.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Give me 10 names. You saying you give me 10 names? Give me 10.
Let me sit up for this shit right now.
I need to hear that.
Cam Newton.
Thank you.
Cam Newton. Oh my. No. Not Cam Newton.
Yeah.
No.
Over Pat Mahomes, yes.
Cam Newton.
No.
Yeah,
At least he
over
been
Pat
to the Super Bowl.
Yes. Over. Yes.
Oh.
No.
I get it.
Cam Newton don't have receivers, and he balling with no receivers.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes is a pocket passer. Next, continue. Come on, I can do this. I can do it. Trust me, I can do this all day.
But he got Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill though.
Yeah.
And he got.
Sammy Watkins just got there. Next, come on now.
He didn't have them last year in that game he played and balled out.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, come on now. And really, Sammy Watkins. What has Sammy Watkins done since he's been in the field?
Let's be real about Sammy Watkins. Dude hasn't played a full season. He hasn't, and then he's been like subpar. Honestly,
If we want to compare one game, let's look at Osweiler when he balled out on the Patriots and won that game. That's one game, so yeah, you never know.
So hold on, let me get this straight. Spitz, you think that Patrick Mahomes is better than Cam Newton?
Not right now, no. But over the course of his career, I think over the course of his career. I mean, like y'all keep changing the narrative.
No.
I'm saying
that's why I asked. That's why
I'm not saying.
I'm saying that over the span of his career, when he's in like his 5th, 6th, 7th season, in the middle of that year, he's going to be considered one of the top 10 quarterbacks of that time. Y'all, I'm waiting on you to give me 10 names during that time because you can't use Tom Brady, you can't use Aaron Rodgers. Give me some names. I give you Carson Wentz. I give you Carson Wentz. I give you Deshaun Watson. Give me some more names. Derek Carr. I like Derek a little bit, but no over Patrick Mahomes. Because one he just lost his best receiver because Crabtree's better than what you call it.
Okay, you got
Mark Cooper is completely overrated.
In the chat they say Watson, Carr, Russell, Wentz, Luck, Cam, Kirk, Dak, Goff.
Oh,
you can throw Jameis Winston.
Yeah, don't you dare put Dak Prescott in this shit. Don't you?
And Kirk Cousins? Come on now. Kirk Cousins. Okay.
Nate Peterman.
No.
Okay.
You're trolling now.
Jared Goff.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Peterman got the sauce and the juice, man. But look, this is what we got here going on, fellas. Look, we done reached a nice little chunk of time. We're gonna wind things down, and I will be sliding into the yeah. Look, I had to throw the Birdman on there. Y'all was going too hard. My boy Spitz say, man, give him some names. Y'all couldn't give him no names, man. So look, y'all better put some respect on Patrick Mahomes' name, man.
I'll put respect on it when he does something in the league. Then I'll put respect on it.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't see it. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions.
If we have the same conversation, this time next year and Mahomes balls out, I would visit that. But until then, he's played one fucking game. Seriously.
Okay, I'm not basing nothing I said off a game. But if we're gonna be talking about that, why do we talk about the draft? Everything's based off of perception. We don't know what nobody's gonna do.
No, but your perception is in 5 years he's going to be the top 10. That's your perception.
Yeah.
And I said all the quarterbacks in this draft is ass. So,
well, people were also saying.
Okay. I'll put it to you like this. Are we not all sold on Deshaun Watson right now?
Yes, but we've had.
Okay, Deshaun Watson come out and play like ass for the rest of his career. No. We don't know that.
That's 6 games.
That's 6.
I'm just saying he could come out and play like ass for the rest of the career. We don't know what nobody's going to do. This is all perception. This is all based on what we think what they're going to do.
To 1 6-1. Listen to yourself, Spitz. You see,
I'm not, but see, I'm not. See, like that's the problem. Y'all think I'm basing. Y'all think I'm basing my shit off of one game. I'm not basing nothing off. I can care less with Patrick Mahomes playing that game. I was saying this shit before the draft that Patrick Mahomes is gonna be an MVP type quarterback. I've been saying this shit. I'm not basing shit off of that game. So say y'all can miss me with that shit, like on the real. Y'all can miss me with that one.
Oh my god, that would be like me saying, you know what, Sam Darnold will be a top 10 in the next 5 years.
Thank you.
It's the same kind of conversation.
I was saying,
but that's
people were saying that about Deshaun Watson. We were saying that Deshaun Watson before the season started, people on the Deshaun Watson train before Deshaun even played the snap. We were all like, "Hey, Deshaun need to play game 1." Because we thought that's what he was gonna do, right? Hey. Right or wrong?
Okay, no. Here, so you want names? No, hold on, stop. I'm gonna put an end to this shit. You want names? All right, I'll give you names.
Give me names. Right. Give me names.
Jared Goff is better than Jared Goff.
Do I think he's better than? I think he is. In my opinion, yeah, I think he's better than Goff.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right.
I don't think Goff should be taken number 1 overall.
Okay. Well, all right. So you think Aaron Rodgers will not be in the league in the next 5 years? Is he better than Rodgers?
No, he's not better than Rodgers.
Okay. I'm giving you names. Matt Ryan. Better than Matt Ryan?
Yep.
Yes.
No.
Really? No. Are you fucking kidding me? Get out of here with that shit.
Wait. You talking about Matt Ryan for the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Yeah. There's only one Matt Ryan, so yeah, I would be talking about
okay. Okay, when we talk about Matt Ryan, okay, yeah, he had a little MVP again. Anybody can win a fucking MVP. We seen Flacco win a fucking Super Bowl.
No, we're talking about career. Remember? Hold on, we're talking about career.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Again, okay. And so in 5 years, he's gonna be better than Matt Ryan.
Okay, how you know Matt Ryan might not be on the downside of his career? Same thing with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
like they can be on that.
I'm giving you names.
People can't be on the downside of their career. Like once we talking about 5 years from now.
See, you sounding like
we talking about 5 years from now.
You sounding like people in our chat right now, man. Listen, I'm giving you names, and you give me excuses for every fucking name I give you.
No, I'm not giving you excuses.
Russell Wilson.
No.
Okay. Carson Wentz.
No.
Deshaun Watson.
Fuck no.
Matt Stafford.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me give you 2 more names to round out the 10. Kirk Cousins. I don't agree with that. I think he'd be better than Kirk Cousins, but I'll throw that name out there. Kirk Cousins.
Fuck no.
Okay, there we go. So, and the last one, and God, I hope you say no. Dak Prescott.
Yeah, you better bet Dak Prescott.
There we go. All right, so there's about 10 right off the rip, all right, not including people that are coming out in this draft. So out of those guys, you think out of just those 10, your contention is he's better than at least 5 or 6 of the guys that I've said.
Yeah, my perception, I think he will be eventually. Yeah.
What if
somebody taking a shower? What the hell?
I don't know what's
going on.
I heard that too.
You're not fully clean till you zestfully clean like a motherfucker, but it is what it is.
All right. Next question.
All
right.
Okay. All right. But yeah, like I said, we go slide our way up out of here, man. But we got a couple of quick hitters. We'll do a little quick lightning round on it. One says, I think Spitz is in the Kush Den early. Someone says, ask Spitz, does Pat Mahomes do anything way better than Watson?
Does he do anything way better than Watson?
Does he do anything?
I can answer that one for him. Arm strength.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah.
That's right off rip.
Then that's really about it. Is the arm strength?
Arm strength.
Yeah, because yeah.
All right.
But yeah. Yeah, that's really it. His arm strength.
Okay, we got one more left. This is going to be the last one we're going to take, and this is from Ferocious. Shout out to Ferocious Film. Says, pick a QB bust from this draft. You got to pick one. No bitching out. So we're going to start with...
of the previous or like this one we just had? Or
I'm thinking the one that's coming up. That's what I'm assuming.
Oh, this is easy. I got it.
Yeah, that's really easy.
Okay. All right, so starting from the top of the list. Well, Darren, I think he in the shower or something. Phoenix, what you got?
Rosen. I don't get his height. Okay, all right. Let me put it like this. Josh Rosen's best career year, his best college year, was Sam Darnold's worst.
So would you say that Rosen had better talent than Darnold?
Thank you.
Shit, Jay Dizzle.
What?
Would you say that Josh Rosen had better talent than Darnold had to work with?
Yeah.
You're fucking smoking. Next question. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
Oh, really? Jay Dizzle came in with that clutch move. He on top of the chart. Okay. Darren, you actually in here, or was I falsely assuming that you was zestfully clean or whatever you was doing? You in here, Darren?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why you sound
depressed though?
Yeah, no. What do you?
You sound depressed.
Nah. So pick a QB bust from this draft coming up, the upcoming draft. Which QB do you feel like is going to be a bust? A bust.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't care about this class. I mean, shit. I don't know. Mayfield, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a decent answer.
Okay. All right. Braylon, which QB is going to be a bust out of this draft class?
Mayfield.
Spitz, who you got?
Allen.
Okay. Wise, who you got?
Allen.
Okay. And Ray, which QB is going to be a bust out of this draft class?
Darnold.
I thought you were gonna say all.
Yeah, I was expecting the all too. That's what I was thinking about.
No, that's not my answer. I'm just messing with. I'm just messing with Rising Duck. I'm just messing with it. So no. Actually, I have to go with Allen because every time he plays a big game, he chokes. He doesn't have the it factor.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Edman, you quick to talk shit on us, but I've heard the stupid shit you got to say, so I really don't want to fucking hear it from you. I've heard the dumbass stuff you've had to say. Please don't come at me with that.
How he says, does this draft have a sneaky Trubisky? Is somebody going to pull up at the last minute and be a top pick? Y'all see that happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Allen.
Okay.
It happens every year.
Yeah.
There's always somebody who's not really talked about, and then they just skyrocket. Like, there was a point last year where Carson Wentz was like a third-round pick.
Yeah.
Right. And he went number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen links to us to get him at 21.
Yep. I seen that too.
That's no winner. All right. Well, before we get up out of here, man, is there anything you guys want to say? Anybody y'all want to shout out to or anything like that?
Shout out to everybody who's been showing love on my Treston Deku video. Just hit 2.3 thousand views. Already.
Hey, shout out to everybody that says Rosen can be a better quarterback than Darnold.
Oh, hey. God.
This is the message that just came in on that. It says, tell Duck that USC gets 4-star plus wide receivers every year. Name a top wide receiver to come out of UCLA.
Boom.
Doom.
I hate all y'all. I hope you know that.
And the jury speaks.
Because you can't do it. Because you can't name one receiver.
All right. So, with that being said, anybody else, y'all got anything y'all want to say before we slide out of here?
Yeah, shout out to Edmund. Make sure you go do a wink and close that garage door. Turn the car on. Get the gas suck on the tailpipe, man.
Good grief.
Yeah, I just want to shout out to everybody, everybody out here.
Yeah, shout out to all y'all for staying out late. It's almost midnight and shit.
Yes.
It's 1 a.m. here.
Yeah, and we just up here having fun, arguing about these quarterbacks and stuff. It's nothing serious.
Fuck all y'all.
I really wish.
God damn it! You didn't pick a quarterback I like. I hope your family just dies.
Damn.
Motherfuckers be upset about some shit for real. That ain't that serious, man. We just vehemently speaking our opinions, man.
Like,
Yeah, Ray still my boy, even though he tried to shit on my boy Pat.
Hey,
He's still my boy.
I'm not shitting on him. I just want him to prove me wrong. That's all. That's all I want.
Spitz, they gonna end up putting respect on his name. They gonna put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
We gonna see.
We gonna revisit this video a year from now.
We will see. We'll see in a matter of months. We'll be talking about it.
But no, don't get the arguing twisted. I only really give a fuck about the Texans team.
Right, seriously.
Being like, I could give 2 fucks less. Like, if Darnold's a bust, oh well, he's not on my team. I don't really care.
Okay.
So why you so passionately hate Rosen then?
I have my reasons.
The can was getting closed, and then Spitz just opened that bitch right up.
He's like, I got the can opener.
Oh man!
And I'll drop a video on it. How about that?
I'm gonna just add for some reason.
How about that? Catch me outside, it.
Catch my video. How about that?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh man! All right, y'all. But this is a wrap. But I want to say thank you to everybody who came through. Shout out to Sauce Nation for sticking with it, for fucking with the flavor, man. We'll be sliding up in the Kush Den quite shortly. So if y'all want to be a part of that, I mean, you can make your way over there. But y'all know when it's all said and done, I'm gonna kick y'all out of there because that's how that routine goes. But like I say, just shout out to everybody, man, who's been holding it down, who's been fucking with the flavor, man. It's about to be time to kick it in overdrive. Once we get into that point, we're about a month out from the draft. We're finna really start pushing and start bringing some new content. Make sure y'all hit that link in hit the description box because there's links to all of the Texan Tubers channels there. You can check the featured channels to get links also. So no excuses as to why you are not following the rest of the roundtable. But with that being said, man, I want to shout out to everybody again. Thank y'all. Shout out to the roundtable. I appreciate y'all taking the time, 2.5 hours out your day to come and fuck with the flavor. I sincerely appreciate that, and shout out to all the super saucy super chats who were showing love. Shout out to the Crow, Josh Crozen, and all that good stuff. Shout out to Ferocious. Heidi, hit me up when you're in the city of Houston. Ferocious shooting shots from the super chat. That's a first. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad. It's a play.
Cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel that.
Heidi, hit me up when you in the city of Houston.
Yeah, shoot your shot, man. However you gotta shoot it, shoot that motherfucker, man. But with that being said, man, Sauce Nation again, I appreciate y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, but most of all, stay saucy. I'm chunking up the deuce. I'll catch y'all shortly in the Kush Den, and it will be going down. And if you're not familiar with the Kush Den, you don't have to smoke weed to be in the Kush Den. Oh, Jay-Z, is it turned up? Well, hold on, I gotta get
some warm milk.
Yes,
I used to know my back, cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel that.
Watson, one more time.
All right, Watson, one more time.
Gatorade, you got some issues.
Oh, man, look. But like I say, I'll see y'all shortly, man. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Stay saucy, and we out.
Fuck your couch.
Already.